Are those your stacks of chips? That's what's making it so confusing. Because it looks like it's.
But now once you know, then shouldn't be a problem.
No, I don't know.
Depends which one of us has a hand. We're just gonna kind of just build it together. You said we could do a pile like this, right? An L read or no?
It's not reading.
No, okay.
Is mine good?
You're good. You can a little more.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, no, it's not reading.
Is mine good?
Everybody's good except DK. You're fine.
Hello, everybody. How are we doing? El Jacko, thank you. Welcome for the follow. Welcome to the Prime family. How are we doing, guys? $1,100 buy-in, 100K guarantee. Prime Poker Open Plo Championship. Welcome to the final table. Here we are. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the final table here at Prime Social, 7801 Westheimer Road, Houston, Texas. I love it. Perfect.
Until we get eight-handed, it usually gets a little like.
Check.
No, it's fine now. I just
32.
I just needed that.
You hear that subtle bright? It's like how it used to be.
Hello, everyone. I got a special guest here. You'd like to introduce yourself?
What's up? What's up? My name is Song. I used to commentate a little bit on a hold'em table mostly.
Well, we got PLO today.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
I've been playing the PLO. I've also played this event. Unfortunately, I didn't make this final table. All the good players are playing this final table. So
We got some people that aren't local right now. We got someone from Detroit
yeah,
right
all
there,
the
Joe.
Houston legend.
Yeah?
All the good PLO
Miss
players are
Lisa,
playing
Deja
it.
Vu, how we doing? Welcome to the stream.
It's been a while being in this booth. Feels special. All right, so see what blinds are we playing?
I think we're still playing 488 right
488,
now. For another,
okay.
like 12 minutes.
So yeah, see everybody's sitting really deep here.
Extremely deep, right? Like it was
Very
just
deep,
the
yeah.
suit is like after day 2, it's just like okay, 14 players left,
Right.
and we wait what 6 hours before we file a table? What,
Right,
5 hours?
I believe
5
average stay was start with like close to 100 big blind
Yeah,
in this
sure.
tournament, which is very, very deep.
Yeah, so this is
well,
hand number 2.
Justin Hammer always made a great structure for everybody
Sure.
to enjoy the poker tournament.
Oh yeah.
So flies going up.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So guys, right here, action tracking, as you could tell, is what you guys could see the cards popping up right here and there. Sometimes we're going to be a little bit situational. Sometimes all players might feel like they got all 4 cards on there. We're going to do the best we can and get you the complete hand. So me and Song can actually talk about it. You know what I mean?
We have a Drake open with aces.
There we go.
Single suited from under the gun. Let's see where's the action at.
And David's got jacks here. Don't you love it too how you see this so you could see the opening ranges of how much the percentages
For
are,
sure.
like
And
how
also-
live certain cards are, right?
And watch all the good players are playing the PLO.
Big Poker Dad fan, love you, Derek. Win this so you could fly home and give me a proper.
Right.
Gotcha.
So that is one
Alright,
of the,
though.
his thing. The Derek's online ID is a Poker Dad 1985 or something. See, we have a lot of big Derek's fans
Yeah.
on the streaming. That's nice to see it. So
It's always
Derek
good when
just
you
took
got
it
a
down.
rail that's just watching on the
For
stream,
sure,
right?
Yeah.
Good
It's pretty
supporters.
cool. Being celebrity, playing final table for the good amount of money.
What's another thing too?
Yeah, we have a lot of Derek's fans there.
Yeah. It's, another thing too, when you have a lot of people that come in and take a look at views, it helps, especially with games like this where it's not always, not everyone's familiar all with the PLO.
Right.
Again,
Yeah,
I
you
know
can
how to play
definitely
PLO,
learn.
but you know how to play PLO better, right? Is what it says. Like, yeah. Hand variances, what's good, what's that? Let's go, Joe from Detroit. Tick, tick. We hear you, Joe, all the way from Detroit here. He actually he did a couple sweats to get onto this table. That was interesting. We were doing some $200 sweats to go
Oh.
ahead. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that was always going on.
Oh, there's going to be a
Big
lot of them
sweat
tomorrow.
and pride.
There's going to be plenty of sweats tomorrow. I promise you that. Nice little $200 sweats. $100 will get their second place will get their 100, and first place will go to get a seat into our main event, $1,700.
Good deal. We have a Derek on a big blind with jacks with the double suited. We're going to see three-way pots.
Absolutely.
David had a jack 10 rundown, one gapper, and we have a mystery hand on a Timothy, which is cover everybody.
Yeah.
Very big.
Oh, he's got 9 in there, I'm sure. Sylphie, welcome to the Prime family. Greatly appreciate the follow.
So see,
So this is something else you don't really want to see too much with basically like a complete wrap looking hand, right? You got a
but
jack
also,
flush
like,
draw
some
with
kind
a
of wild
pair.
card. You can
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
guess where he's at, all the
True.
stuff. It's a 9-9 deuce, 2 club four.
This is where like someone might have like a ace or ace king, like 9-10 kind of hand, something like that, right?
It's
Where
also
someone
pretty
could.
dry board.
Sure.
So against some 2 players, it's kind of good to see bet, and he has a stack to push them. And Derek make a stab with the jacks double suited. He had a 1 backdoor flush draw.
I also don't mind this for the simple fact that even with the club draw out there, they're not gonna like that. The pair board right on the
Yeah, I
flop
really
leading
like-
out here.
I really like Derek's
Yep.
play here. The Derek is holding Jack A7, so he's blocking all the hands that contains 9 against the 2 players. So Derek is definitely capable of figuring that out. So by potting it, your opponent should not have that much 9 because you're already holding all these blockers there.
Sure.
So that was really good play by Derek, and also denying all the equity by
Yeah, denying
He's
the equity
holding
for
all
like
the club
any
draw.
other club draws. Exactly.
Even if he had like the nut flush draw there, probably he shouldn't be.
I mean,
it'll be
maybe
easy
with the
for him
nut
to call
flush.
it up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of a PLO.
So you're denying equity with the raise like that from Derek, right? Like
Denying
complete
equity also is playing a pure blocker.
Yeah,
that
sure.
Side. He's very, very smart player. I know Derek very well. I know a lot of players very well here when we play.
Is there anyone you don't know?
A couple players.
Okay.
I'm not really recognizing it, but yeah, most of Houston player I'm very used to it.
Sure. Well, I mean, Drake plays here consistently, right? So
Yeah, Drake is very,
Yeah.
very good player. Very
Solid.
good PLO player.
makes plenty of final tables here throughout the series and
Yep.
stuff. He has throughout the last 6
So
months.
it's gonna be very fun for us to watch it and
Oh,
run
yeah.
through how they maneuver their stack and a situation. Also, being on a final table, not only you're on the live streaming with everybody's watching you, is also there is a pay jump. Significant pay jump is on the every letter
Sure.
off, so they have to figure out what's the best for them to
Take proper stabs, right? At this point, it's okay. I'm trying to let It's not like okay. I'm trying
So
to
we have
like
a
ladder up
Roberto
something.
Lim, from hijack with the giant stack, and David is holding really good hand, ace king double suited with the pair fours on a button, so he's definitely raising here. Derek has queen jack 10. It's a really strong hand. We'll see how he's gonna play it out this hand.
Because you're also blocking a lot of stuff that's going to connect
Right.
with someone who's raising like David to 30,000,
For
right?
sure,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
also having an ace is very important in this PLO because you block your opponent's ace range.
Mm-hmm.
So without having an ace, I would really like calling here in their spot. We'll see.
When you also
Very
see what the
good
flop
call.
is, right?
That's actually pretty loose though on his side. He has no suit. It's pure ace 8 7 7.
Right.
But he does have a chips, so he might have a plan to just bear them off and stuff like that.
So in David's situation, he flops top pair, top right now, right? But like on top of it with the backdoor nut
Backdoor
flush
nut
draw.
flush draw.
So I would be leading out on this and seeing where we're at this point, correct? You're in
he's-
position,
he's
right?
Definitely
Right.
kind of potting here because
Yep.
also his SPR is less than 1.5 SPR, which is he's most likely gonna get it in there,
Sure.
and he doesn't mind flipping with the like lower wrap there because he's also blocking force.
Sure.
And he has a backdoor equity, and he just take it down.
Yeah,
So
nice takedown there.
by doing it, just like that, Roberto could not call with the open ender here. So
Sure.
very good play by David.
Let's go Tim from Charlie Champ 26. Shout out, support, Mr. Tim there. I like it when family members and all this stuff come to the chat and start talking smack to us.
Yeah,
I like it, right?
Yeah.
Big Papa Rick coming in. Got you. Thank you very much. Shout out.
We have a couple short stack, but they still sitting close to 20 big blind. And 20 big blind is very, very deep in PLO tournament.
Sure.
Just because
Oh,
of
absolutely.
the pot limit.
Right. Well, of course, it's not limit, right? So it's not like the difference between big bets and big blinds, right? So, I mean, there's a difference, but you could still symbolize it in the case, right?
Right. But like the thing is, there's a kind of a wrong concept about the limit game. Limit actually can be more swingy too.
Sure.
Because everyone trying to see
A
like,
little bit more draw. You can,
cards and stuff.
you could draw a lot more
Yeah,
at a
and
significant
you
price
can-
value, right?
exactly,
Your
you
equity
cannot-
value goes up, or your ICM bet and all this other
Right.
chip
you cannot
stack
deny
bet.
equity. That's the big part.
Correct. As in
Yeah.
pot limit,
I'm not-
we could shove a little bit more,
Yeah,
right?
I'm
Like-
not good at limit game. It's just really monster people's playing like those games. But Davey just took the nice pot there.
Yeah.
He literally doubled his stack that hand, which is very nice.
And just like any tournament song, you're trying to like literally take pots down with no showdown, right? Like I mean, that's
That's
you're building
always
chips,
chips,
right?
yes.
You're building chips. You're grabbing. People aren't you're not.
It's a very
people aren't
interesting
looking you
spot
up.
here. David Lim with the king 10 9 7 caught off. Derek at ace king queen 4 with the queen suited, which is very strong. I'm gonna expect him to pot it there. Because like you're also blocking all the strong hands,
Sure.
and you do have a lot of equity against even their like marginal hand, like what kings too. So having a blocker is very important, especially like when
see.
you're playing with like very
There we
good
go. Okay.
players.
Awesome, Patrick. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like that lay down with Patrick too. It's like okay, not really connected.
I mean,
too well.
those are it's not actually not a good hand when you have a high suited together.
Right.
You want to have like both suited, obviously, and it's interesting to see Davey calls the king 10 9 7.
You think he's just trying to do like keep pot control at this point, possibly to see the flop pot control a little bit?
It's also he's capable of making a lot of good moves. He's trying to, see the right flop for his card.
Oh,
Actually,
man,
he
I
just hit the,
wouldn't.
like
I would say
small wrap
complete like a little good wrap there, right? So yeah, this is something where now his hand value has gotten stronger, right? So
Yeah, and also they know each other very well. That they both are very strong PLO players. So
Alright, so you bets out seven. Wait, hold on.
he probably
90,000?
potted.
Yep,
Probably
95,000.
potted
Yep.
Here. It's the thing about his the stack side. That's probably what the Davey called it off. He wants to get the right flop and
Sure.
get him off the Derek off the hand.
Well, at the same time, taking the value of that his direction of just calling there, right there, right, and then
Right.
just saying, okay, this is a good flop, got a good wrap here. I'm just gonna
Exactly.
put maximum pressure, pot it, and then again, last two hands, he's increased his stack by almost 30%. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, yeah.
I don't know if you know that David is actually the defending champion here. I believe he's the one won the last PLO championship at Prime.
I did not know that.
And Derek also was final for the last PLO champion. So a lot of people are still like back to the final table for the PLO championship at Prime right now. See the because of the Citra, the David, we usually call him as a Russian Derek and a Drake on the sitting all together next to each other. We're gonna see a lot of battle between those two guys for sure.
Especially if we start getting a little bit more deeper when the ladder starts going up, right?
Yeah, more likely all all three of them like very good at like the PLO and have a lot of experience in PLO final table and stuff. So when they're in all the late position, they trying to just stab each other, like fight for every pot. Yeah,
well, they're also trying to take position of the, like, hey, this is my position, don't mess with it, right?
Pretty sweet spot here.
Yeah.
The Timothy under the gun lane and Timothy at aces, the ace 10 of diamond. It's definitely potting here. And we have a mystery hand on the DK.
Oh, okay.
DK decide to call. Probably get the Patrick out of the hand. Because of the Patrick stack, he can't really continue any post-flop.
Post-flop, yeah. Trying to take the position, right? Yeah, trying to take the position right there.
Okay. Sometimes it's hard.
So, gut shot here for Timothy.
It's very, very wet board.
Yeah.
Timos is like gonna check a lot of this board.
And guys, the reason why we say wet board here and some repetitive like here, this is gonna hit the ranges of players connecting cards completely, right? Even though there's no flush draw at the moment, people are gonna draw into, okay, I could have it, well, hey, there's 3 backdoor flush draws right there right now, right? So
just like you said, Timothy trying to c-bet, and then DK just potting into him.
Yeah.
And he's gonna just give Timothy a like disaster because he can't really call it up. The one pair or the gut shot here.
Right.
And DK can have
anything.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Any sets here, any complete wrap, right? Yeah.
It's so hard to continue here.
Sure. Again, you do believe exactly how, like you said, like how Timothy opened out there. That's standard, right? So like opening up standard there, and you see a flop like that, like right? It's just like, and then you lead out with the C bet, and then you're potted. You're like, oh yeah, this. I could pick better spots, right?
It's never be the horrible to C bet the board because you still have the range advantage, but in PLO, it's just so much variance and so many cards out there, like. It's gonna be very, very hard to continue if somebody raises stuff.
Deja Vu. Shout out to Roberto, Drake, DK, and David. Best of luck to everybody from Deja Vu. Everyone in the stream, thank you for being here. Greatly appreciate it. We got some good followers right now. Thank you for being here. Yep. Help me commentate a game that I supposedly don't know much about. Justin Hammer, shout out.
I mean, I don't know much compared to all these like crushers.
Sure, well, I mean, I love always another extra opinion about how I feel. Like, pot limit. I'm more of a mixed game. So like I am more used to. You're not like I'm used to your limits. You know what I mean? I'm a more limit game player. Traveling overseas, playing cards. I bit a lot of big stud games and stuff like that. So I'm good with mixed. And but I'll tell you what, pot limit Omaha here in Houston, Texas is different from anywhere else anyways, right? So it's just like,
you want to experience a real pot limit Omaha, you always want to come to Houston, Texas.
Always come to Houston, Texas. Let's go.
All right, we're going to see a lot of multi-way here.
Now, when you have a multi-way pot like this, where you got to think of people got hands like DK, do you go ahead and just flat here and just see, kind of control the pot and just see the flop since there's already 4 callers here, or do you try to 4-bet or 3-bet at this range?
It depends on the dynamic and the stack size. believe there's the right answer for it.
Okay.
But also everybody don't want to take the big hit, so
Sure.
everyone's trying to be cautious about it. And Alejandro is actually a very strong player also. So I think a lot of players over here, they've been playing together since yesterday, today, day 2, and also a lot of them know each other.
Well,
from the
again,
cash
they
game
played what, 10-handed for, well, about 14-handed for
like 4 hours.
4
yes.
hours, 5 hours. So guys, the range here, or I'm sorry, the flop here is a little bit different, but I believe that it's accurate now. The flop actually came on the ace, not on the turn. Or I'm sorry, the ace came on the
ace
flop,
was
not on the turn.
flop. There you go.
Yeah.
I think that's still.
Still a little bit inaccurate,
Yeah.
I say. Oh no, that was
Oh,
accurate.
it is right. Okay.
That's not. So we'll see. I think, yeah, they're trying to fix it right now.
Right.
Yeah, isn't this one of those times where that 3 dangler is just kind of like, oh, did you get there with the 3 kind of thing? You know, like
Possible, but also it's hard to have someone has a 3 in this range, I believe. But
well, you look at David's hand, right? 6-5-4 deuce, right?
I think
so
that's
it's just
another
kind of
reason I think DK is just betting to see
value.
Like,
Bet for value.
it's kind of more blocker type.
Okay.
Doesn't want to call off the big bet in that situation.
So pot control, kind of like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Pot control, keeping the block down.
DK
Hey,
deck definitely can have a lot of 3s and a flush.
Sure.
Or flush got there. So, and he doesn't want to give up his ace king, which is very strong in this spot too. So I like DK's bidding here.
So guys, if you can see, we do have a new felt here for our Prime Poker Open. So we got Fat Boots Trailer Park Bar, shout out, little trail fees, and then you got your logo here. If you didn't recognize, there's actually there's a little
Yeah,
Texas
the
logo
Texas,
at the zero,
See
the
the
O
Texas
there, yeah.
egg, yeah,
I
map
think, oh,
there.
that's creative. So if you guys ever willing to, have any sponsors in here, contact us at info@primesocialtx.com, and we can give you guys some more information about that.
Yep.
Now, see, hands like this, like what Joe's got right now, like, Queen, Jack, 9 deuce. This is one of those hands where, okay, opening them, you're +1, you're just going to lay it down. But, at the same time, David's got King, Jack 3 here, single suited.
So we'll
As you guys
see.
can imagine, we're also seeing these cards and trying to read. Our eyes are trying to read these as much
so
as
a lot of
you guys
cards on
are
the
right now too.
screen.
Yeah, we are a half an hour delay, but we're reading it straight out from the gate. So it's just like we don't have much time to, like, okay, is it this, that? No, it's right in front of us right now.
Right.
As soon as you guys are seeing it, so are we. So we gotta be on top of our feet. So we got, right? Timothy will win it all. All right, Edgar, we will see. Best of luck to Tim.
We're in a full way to the flop. Everybody had a little bit of something. We have Patrick had a wrap with the nut flush draw. And David is holding the best hand with the kings. We're trying to catch up. We have a Dan Ross in the booth.
Be
How you
afraid,
doing,
folks. How you doing, brother?
We're doing all right. See. Oh, okay. So flop was
So David with overpair and a flush draw.
okay. Okay, it was a 2 club on a flop, so I thought that Patrick has a monster flop.
Okay.
But after Patrick folded and the flop changes, so now we have to catch up a little bit here. So Alejandro call with the gut shot, with the king king high flush blocker, and Roberto holding top pair. And David still had a best hand with the pocket kings with the flush.
Yeah, he
draw.
didn't like seeing that ace come out.
Right, and also he has a lot of equity.
Although he just loved that ace.
It's kind of not like somebody. If somebody had ace,
Yeah,
now,
he's
like
he's
you can't
sitting
get the value.
he's sitting
much
there
of it.
right now hoping somebody has the ace.
Right,
I mean,
and
he has to
just
check it back.
He realized there's no other value that he can get it from. Just still nice little pot that David
it is.
had 150k. Now he's running up to close to 500k. So as you can see, they're battling for every pot here. The chips are flying. It's gonna be a very, very fun final table.
I like that. Hungry?
And we're in the Doge. I like that. I'll take some Doge. I'll take some Doge, maybe some sheep, some Gordona. I got some stuff. All right, son, what'd I miss? I miss anything? No, just taking it down.
He had just one small pot. David took it down with Jack High Flush. Nice little pot. Now David is sitting with pretty deep now.
Now, so where does this point where blinds start becoming a little bit effective towards chip counts? Like, you know, we're about to go into what? We're at like what? We were at 488, right? So we should be at 5-10-10 now.
Yes. I don't
So-
know if you went up.
Yeah,
I
we're at
believe
5,
you
10,
went up.
10
Yes.
now. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. But still, everybody's still sitting in very deep. So it's gonna take a while unless we're seeing like the cooler board and stuff.
So we're gonna be here for a while, is what you're saying?
It's gonna be a while.
Nice.
You never know though. PLO just has all the variants.
Sure.
Anything can happen.
Like you said, two players get on a massive just smack, like set or
Right.
set with the mate straight and anything like
Yeah.
that.
See, Alejandro has very good
King's
hand
double
here.
single suited here. Again, like, all right, so you got the nut suited for Derek. You got a little 5 dangler for Roberto.
Right.
Are
Only
you
thing is about having a 3 suit is very, very bad in PLO.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see Alejandro wants to 3-bet or trying to see
Yeah, it looks like you 3 about it.
the 3-bet and Derek folded.
Well, I mean, what people don't understand, especially the live stream, if you guys never really paid attention to PLO, like, that is one of your outs you're looking for.
That is what?
That's one of your outs you're looking for, like when you have when you have 3 spades in your hand, like that, for people who haven't really watched or ever watched
Right.
before, like that's what are your outs, like, right? Like, I mean, you got to put that math, and
Right.
in PLO you have to put that math. It isn't like, oh no, I'll
yeah.
still get 3 of the flop, or it'll show up. Like, that math does
Right.
matter.
All
you know what I
poker
mean?
is very, very based on like pure, a lot of math.
Sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Hold'em, PLO, all the other.
And
mixed
I
games.
also would agree, though, that PLO is much more, as in opening ranges with aces is
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what, 60, as in you got, what, 600 different starting hands with
Right.
like with aces, right? Like, you have 600
I'm
different
pretty
type
sure
of
it's
opening
like
ranges?
thousands of it,
Or
like,
6,000? Yeah,
millions
yeah.
of hands. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
all
yeah.
different.
Yeah.
It's just too
You
many
want to start doing
things.
solvers
I don't
on
even know.
that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's go.
Yeah, so for that, like, there is no like complete solver for PLO yet, but there's still a lot of like the datas and solver coming out every day.
Well, there's just so many, right? I mean, there's just so
Right.
many starting hands, so many outs, like opening ranges or opening starting hands with, like,
David
okay,
really
you
wanted
have.
to play their small rundown under the gun, and he made a good fall. Patrick is a 10-high rundown with the 1 suit. And he's sitting with close to 10 to 12 bigs.
Sater, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Prime family.
Roberto.
Is this something where you're expecting to just like really try to get a connected range of something as soon as by flop, right? You're just trying to see like, that
yes
you
and
feel like you can
no.
connect well with
Yes
this
and
board?
no. Like the thing is, you still need a lot of high card value, and you're getting smaller and smaller stack because of the SPR reason. So I'm actually a little more surprised.
Well, sure, like
that-
you're saying, like Roberto right here, right? Like at this
Roberto has a
point,
very
it's just
good
like,
hand
yeah.
that I would love to 3-bet there with Roberto's hand just to ISO all the other players. And you
Now it
don't
looks like
mind
Joe's
flipping
gonna
with the
3-bet
Patrick
here.
there. This is actually a very good spot for Patrick. His hand performed pretty well against those like two people's high card range.
So Roberto has a decision here, and is that
Wow,
that's a pretty that's a real like
As,
that laydown is pretty right like.
I mean, it's a very good hand, but also if you're putting someone else's aces or kings there, your hands perform pretty bad against it. But having a double suited is pretty close. I think you still perform
I
pretty
mean,
well against it. Like,
you think you could call 140K with being a chip leader right now, right? Or do you just say, okay, just go ahead and knock this out for value, just see what happens? Well,
I will see
nut flush
Joe
draw for
has-
Joe.
over pair with the nut flush. Then Patrick missed it all his draw. It was very
All right,
unfortunate.
Patrick's going to be eliminated first player on our final table, out in 9th place. Congratulations, sir.
I did it right. I think it was diamond and spade.
All right, please. 5, 10, 10.
Patrick will take home 2,900 in 9th place. Verified.
It's always a little bit sad when you make the final table and then bust it up first.
Right.
There's a payout there. The winner would take close to $29,000.
Yeah, that cut card's pretty cool, huh? I agree. Yeah. Hudless, what's up, buddy? I am in the booth. That is correct.
It's in the booth.
And the booth. Got Sung here too. Thank you for coming in. Greatly
no
appreciate
problem.
having someone.
I'm always enjoying being here, watching all the crushers playing the hand.
I can't
Oh,
wait
yeah,
with
but
with
Derek
me,
pick
but
up the
we need
aces
to-
with
yeah.
the space suit.
Okay.
Raise.
Hudless
30.
recommendation's awesome. I just haven't done it yet. We've been so busy, but I will. Oh, look, double suited queen. Now, so I like these hands, right? Because I mean, a little bit, like it's not bad to call an opening range here. I like it, right? Double suited, you're in both queen high flushes, and on top of it, it can connect somewhat okay with the board, like pre-flop action, right?
Can be, but also you have to remember, still queen high suit can be dominated.
Okay, but are you gonna 3-bet with it though? I'm not sure if I'll do a 3-bet.
I mean,
and that's so let's go through the logic, right? So like are you not putting someone in aces or kings when they lead out here for 30, and you're gonna 3-bet it? You're basically gonna pot it with queen 8-6 double suited. Is Timothy overvaluing this hand right now?
It's
Because exactly what you're saying, you're not drawn to the nut draw,
Timothy
right?
is the reason there. It can be just ISO reason. It can be just bluffing out Derek's range because Derek has been opening too much. We don't know what's his intention here.
Okay.
But like he can't, like in Timothy's shoes with the queen's double suited hand, which it looks very strong. But think about if Derek is holding ace king, any XX hand, you're only gonna call to flip it, and
Sure.
Derek has no range of jacks or lower hands here, so you're always gonna be dominated.
Well, it's the same thing. If he had ace-4 here, right, he's basically free rolling to 2 suits, pretty much, right? Like like you're saying, it's
Right,
covered.
and, like, double
So you like
suited-
Derek's 4-bet here to 235?
You have to
Yeah, okay.
here
Yep.
because of the SPR. Like I said, like you don't have any other stack to play the post flop. then you should not call the aces here. 'Cause basically, you want to deny all the equity. Look at the percentage we're seeing it.
Sure.
Derek has aces, Timothy has the queens, but Timo still has close to 40%.
40%, right.
equity. So you want to have the free chips all day long if you can. So
Now, when you 4-bet like that, for Derek, are you polarizing your hand as the caller to Timothy? Like, is this where it said, okay, I'm good with this hand, I'm going to 4-bet, I'm leaving? Well, he's potted it, but, like, obviously he's got about, what,
right.
4 big bets, or 4 big blinds behind him? Like, right? Like,
also, 4-bet is still always very narrow range for any poker player. They always going to have a very strong of hand. But
unless it's like a player read, like a direct player read,
right,
correct?
but still Derek is definitely capable of like jamming in with any ace, king, queen,
Okay,
all those hands. And Timothy was probably thinking about if he has those hands, he's still ahead. The only problem here is even Derek has the hand that what Timothy wants Derek to have, we're still gonna flip it.
Gotcha.
So you never gonna have more than 50% equity there. So Timothy just had to fold that spot.
I got you, Hudless, not a problem.
Right. So queen double suited as looks good hand, but I personally only gonna play button or big blind in that position.
Okay.
For that reason, especially when you're playing against all the good strong players.
Right. I mean, at this point, at this final table, you gotta know who you're playing against, right? Right. Like, right.
I play those hands every day because they look so pretty.
Yeah.
Like,
you love the cards; they look pretty. Yeah. Right.
The set and flush draw. And I started losing all my money being hit the flush and lose to the nut flush versus a queen high flush, and I started realizing it. Okay, I can't do that anymore.
right. Something's got to change here, right?
It's gonna be a very interesting hand here.
So how about Joseph with like the wrap straight with the second nut flush draw
He
here?
had open ender.
Open ender, sorry.
Yeah, he had open ender with the second nut flush draw, but the aces club, aces non-heart. If somebody gonna have ace of heart a lot of times, and if they do, they might have like the nut flush draw. So Joe probably gonna be very has to play cautiously here with his second nut flush draw with the open ender. On the Derek side, he had a top and bottom 2 pair with the nut flush draw, which is very strong hand.
Sure.
He's calling here. Now Alejandro called with his bottom pair with the open ender, I believe. And a backdoor wrap, and a Roberto has just top pair, made a good fold. Joe is considering calling here.
Okay.
He's definitely gonna call with the button, having that hand.
But he's in position. He could, he can go ahead and reevaluate on the turn, right?
Turn card can change a lot of stuff.
Oh, he got the straight.
But 2 people have a straight, and as you can tell, Joe is gonna fold here.
Now, is this where you're in like Joseph position where you have the straight, you still have the second nut flush draw here? Are you gonna just like really push it strong here to try to get out this 8 draw, like ace jack? Okay, yeah.
And now Derek is in a really tough spot. He has strong hand and he's drawing to the nut, but there is obvious straight out there, and you're playing multi-way. And I don't think they're never gonna check back in this spot, and it's gonna be
165.
very like tough time for Derek to continue the hand here.
Hudless, you're hilarious, buddy. Okay.
Bet 160.
We'll see Alejandro bet with his nut straight here.
I got you, Hudless.
It's gonna be very good spot for Joe to push it.
Well, I mean, at this point, I mean, you really just feel so strong with your hand, like with your
Right.
hand, right? And you got position, right? So you got to put maximum pressure.
Only hand you gotta worry about here is
Exactly what Derek has, right?
no. Actually, it's like somebody had a 7-8 with the no flush draw.
Gotcha.
The only
Yeah,
hand
exactly right. Yeah.
But like for the Joe's hand, he's holding 2-8, which is he's blocking all other straight draws. So he knows he's pretty nutty here.
Sure.
And not expecting anybody has enough flush draw with the 7-8 here.
At this point, if Derek's gonna call this is pretty much valuing. I wouldn't say a gamble, but he's most definitely.
Theoretically, he should not because he's already checked the turn. Alejandro showed a strong betting out here, and a Joe repotted. This is super strong. Even let's say if Derek has a nut aces here, I really feel like he should fold. It's not getting right price, and there is a high chance that Alejandro and Joseph just can get.
Well, because Alejandro let out, right? So Alejandro would let out, right? So if it was like a check, kind of like Derek's range, I can say, okay, I could go with this, whatever. But
Right.
now you got to let out, then you got a 3-bet
Exactly.
of an all-in, right?
Smart enough to know if somebody is repotting here, they're gonna have a straight with the flush redraw, which means Derek is drawing pretty thin here.
Okay, yeah. So that's what Derek's gonna be put. You're right. So yeah, Derek's got to be putting on. Okay, this has got to be a straight, or like a straight, even possibly a set here. Could this be a set right now?
I mean, you definitely can gamble here in this spot in like cash game, but in tournament, I don't think you want to just call off with your draw. So
Okay.
your 2 pairs apparently is not good. Like say he made a really good fold here. Now Alejandro can't fold because he's holding the nut, so Joe is gonna free roll here to see if he can hit his heart to scoop the pot. He's never gonna lose. So it's like Joe is sitting really comfortable.
Oh, absolutely. It's complete
One of
free
the
roll,
best
right?
feelings
Yeah.
when you're sitting on
Yeah, yeah. That's the best feeling.
Yeah, you're holding the nut and you're free rolling.
You're free rolling to another draw.
You have no.
And of course, if a heart hits here, it kind of hurts because it, like, you know, Derek's really going.
Right.
And it is a heart.
It does hit the heart. But it's also you can't be result orientated in this spot because
Well, this also shouldn't put this should put Derek on tilt right now. Like, oh, the heart got there, right? Like, it shouldn't put him on tilt a little bit. Or is this gonna? You think this put Derek? Derek's a solid player, right? He's good enough in that, right? So it's just kind of like, all right, Derek. It isn't like you like again at that percentage of what we put him on. I mean, he's got to put himself at a like a 60-40 underdog, right? Or even the 60-30, which he was not even
not
at.
against the 2 people against you. Only
Right.
20 to max 30% of it. So Derek just made a right fold. It's just unfortunate to see the heart out there.
Sure.
But it's still very. The way the hands all played it out, it's so hard for Derek to get away. He found himself made a very good fold. The river is just unfortunate, hard, but you can't think like that. Like you have to make the best decision every street as possible. That's what all the poker is about.
Joe's gonna take a massive pot here. He's gonna bring him up to 1.4.
Better, probably it was multi-way. You can just keep the small and then go to the river with like check raise to just get it in.
Gotcha.
The flop.
Okay.
But also, I don't see any problem.
Well, at this point, I don't think the hand would have played it any bit differently, even if they did keep it a little bit smaller, right? I really don't, because I mean, with the turn card, it's gonna probably go pot anyways, right?
Possibly.
You know what I mean? I mean, it did theoretically it let out
But if
pot.
it's like checking and if somebody bet with their draw and stuff, because like there is a high possibility Joe can still step the flop with his like monster draw, and there can easily just check pot it and give him the disaster time.
Gotcha.
Instead of your own decision. It's always better to put someone else in decision over you put yourself in the decision in poker. That's one of the very key point in playing the poker tournament.
Sure. Tick says let's go, Joe.
I guess they busted out the Alejandro and they're down to 7 people now.
No, I don't think Alejandro's out yet.
Oh, Alejandro had a more stack. Okay.
Yeah, Alejandro had a bigger set.
Okay.
I think he is most definitely short at this point. I'm trying to see the numbers at the moment, guys.
Oh, maybe we had a bust out like in 30 minutes future, I guess. That's the okay. I see the clock here. And so the seven
know you're
people is
good.
like, okay.
Back to the future stuff, guys. Back to the future.
Okay. Yeah, we see that Alejandro still has a
Sure.
130K similar. So Roberto open king.
So Joe is now taking the Joe from Detroit is now taking the
So he's
lead
taking
in
a
this
big lead.
huge lead.
That's a huge pot for him.
Now, like we talked about the variance of PLO. When you have big stacks like this, do you still just stick with the, your betting system of, okay, when I hit it, I got to be aggressive? Does your opening range go too big because the variance of PLO is just too big? Because you don't want to start giving pots into a pot. Like, you don't want to start influxing and bloating up the chip pot to allow people to pot it, right? Like, you don't want to make it big. You want to keep it controlled at this point, right? So you can still see cheap flops if you want, and you're not increasing someone else's stack, right? You're
sure,
trying to
yeah.
keep the chips on your end, right? So
Yes, at some point, but also because of the PLO experience game, just like you have enough stack to take the big hits and stuff. So just like I said earlier, you have like you're the holding gun now. Like
Gotcha.
you're not afraid to get bust out, but they are.
Sure.
So you're putting all the pressure to them. That's usually how it works, but we'll see how they played out their stack.
well, we got two players that's got only 11 big blinds right now, so
11 big blind is still like not
it's pretty good,
small.
right? Like it's
yeah.
Again,
Poker, anything can happen, especially PLO, like
Oh, yeah.
Irons.
Oh well, especially PLO,
Yeah.
right? Like
You get two double up, you become more than average.
hold
stack.
them, you're looking like, oh, okay, well, I got to double up suit. I got to have something hold. In PLO, you could get three-way
Right.
action to just flop it, and you're like, okay, pot, and
Yep.
just hold strong.
But when you're
bro.
when you're down to that 10 to 15 big blind range, you kind of have to push 3-bet shove a lot to any blocker hands. So we'll see how they played it out here. Roberto keep having pocket kings in his
Yeah, right?
a lot of good hands. And Joe is
Just a smooth call. Like, calls in 10's got second
Right.
chips right
well,
now.
also pocket kings with use 5 hands is not really the great. So I mean, I would personally open with that hand with his stack size for sure, but nothing wrong with limping. Still, you're gonna have a lot of good flop for your hand, and if they miss it, you can always win with your pair hand.
And it's crazy how I see Timothy's actually 55% right here still.
Right. Having a one pair versus
And a
over
gut
pair,
shot, right?
that's why we see a lot of aces getting cracked in PLO, because if you're actually holding one pair hand and someone has an over pair, you're flipping it.
Sure.
You're never gonna be behind it too much. And just like that, he just
Yep.
drilled his top pair.
And that's fine too for Timothy, right? Just go ahead. There's no point. Maybe you could have took it down with a bet and not show showdown value, but at the same time,
Right.
at this point, you, especially since it's big blind,
But
he's got value of his.
Roberto
he's got
could
show
definitely just bet the turn when the 3 club came, since he's holding the king
representing
of
the
club.
flush. Yeah.
Not the representative club, you're already holding a blocker, so you
Sure.
know your opponent doesn't have the club, or like strong
Got it.
club, so you can play that out. Also, he was in position, and with the giant stack, Timos definitely doesn't want to lose his stack at this point.
So he missed the
You
bet.
can definitely, you can't say that, but like I said, it's very easy for us to see because we
Sure.
see the whole cards,
Oh yeah,
what
easy.
they have.
That's the best thing.
Yeah,
We
there's
can
nothing wrong with
criticize 'cause we
check
see all
back.
the-
It's
yeah.
way easier to play when you see everyone's hand.
100%, sir.
Right.
That's the way I love to do it. Right.
That's why, like, when
But
I do
yeah,
it in the
accurate.
in the booth, I try not to judge by what I see their hands. But it's so hard. Like, you're already seeing it, so it's
Sure.
like, you can say you
Well,
can be
it's the
like
same
the
thing, too.
genius
Okay,
poker player.
since you see this, it's like, okay, what is this player thinking? right now, right? Like, what is he putting him on, right? It's another, instead of saying, okay, well, I think he's gonna bet half pot or two, you know,
Right.
or pot size because, or 3/4 pot because
Now
of
we're
this
looking.
reason.
Now we're looking at Alejandro limp with Ace King 10 6 single suit, which is very strong hand under the gun, because he can only raise to 3.5 big blind, and if he's missed the flop, he'll be in a very tough spot. Pretty sure Alejandro is playing here to limp. If somebody raised, he's going all in to flip to see if he can take down the pot. And even if you see the flop, you can get in a flop in really cheap. This is one of the big difference between PLO and a Hold'em. And now he hit the monster flop.
Yep, exactly. 2 pair, nut flush draw, right?
Sit
Like,
there with top
yep.
and bottom with the nut flush
top to
draw.
bottom.
He's definitely want to get all the value from people here. Unfortunately, I don't see anyone else had hands to continue, except for if DK decides to go with his 10 high flush draw.
That's why it's so importantly to try to have the nut
Right.
drawing hand every time,
But for
right?
DK, also, he has no reason to take his spot because his stack size and Alejandro is so small. There is very high possibility Alejandro just gonna go all in on a turn. So now, see this card, Alejandro has to go all in here to protect his hand and get all the value from the worst hand than what he's holding.
Now, can DK,
DK actually
take this?
picked a pretty bad turn. Then now he have an open-ender with the
Open-ender,
flush
right,
draw.
right.
So
So this way, you
he's
kind
gonna-
of now he valued
yeah.
himself to call this, right? All right, let's see if Alejandro could stay strong and
and he drilled his
DK
card.
gets it.
He's holding the nut here.
Yep.
It's very unfortunate for Alejandro.
And that's just sometimes how
Just a very
PLO. Welcome to PLO.
thing about PLO, like one card can create so much variance.
Alejandro, congratulations, sir. He will be our 8th place finisher and our 100K guarantee PLO championship. He's going to take home $3,360. Congrats, sir.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate for Alejandro
little unlucky,
to have that
unfortunately.
hand, and he hit a right flop. He just couldn't fade the turn and river.
And then there were 7. So it's not actually, it's going by a little bit faster than
What is it?
I said. It's gone by.
Well, the thing is also when it gets to shorter and shorter handed, they're gonna try to play more hands because their range get like the weaker. So we're gonna get to see a lot of battles more and more in the short handed, and we're gonna see more pokers for sure.
Like 7 high straight. I got 2
And all the
We're gonna start
because of
seeing some more
PLO.
flops, right? With
Right.
the stack sizes, like kind of equilibrium out, right?
Right.
Looking to equal out.
Oh, you had 7, 8, 8.
Remember we were talking about 8 today earlier? I had 7, 8, 18. Yeah.
What is this, Dan? What are you doing?
Hey, Mr. Reese, you
Yes, sir.
you're kind of known as king of the flips and king of the sweats. Right
Yes,
now, right?
I love sweats. Let's go.
Okay.
I am.
So what's been taking place all week is if there's a major event such as the 500K guaranteed deep stack, the 3,500 high roller,
Yeah.
the main event coming up this week.
Yes,
You've been doing flips,
I've been doing flips.
and a flip is one table. Everybody is all in, so there's no chips.
Yep.
Dealer goes flop, turn, river. Winning hand gets a seat into that event,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
We've got the $3,500 high roller going on right now. You ran a $40 flip to win a seat into the high roller satellite.
Correct.
One of the 2 players who won a seat into the high roller won the $40 flip.
Ha.
Jack Shea right now is playing a $3,500 buy-in high roller, and he's in it for $40.
Nicely done.
So
Nice.
if you're looking to get into the $1,700 buy-in, $1.5 million.
$1 million. million?
Guaranteed. Main event.
1.5 million for 1,700?
It is the highest guarantee in Texas sanctioned poker history.
Ooh, ooh. And on top of that, we could do flips after.
And you're going to be doing what? $200 flips?
Oh, $200 flips. $100 for second place to get some money back, and then the rest goes to.
And we'll be
a
running
seat.
flips all day Wednesday, Thursday,
Oh, yeah.
Friday, and Saturday.
Oh.
$200 can win your way in.
To a $1,700 ticket into our main event. 1.5 million guarantee.
And if you don't think it can work, we got a player playing the high roller for only $40 right now.
Like it. I like it.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.
There you go. Verified.
That's a lot of big promotion going on.
There you go.
Fine.
Verified.
Very
Yeah,
fine.
you got to do that every now and then, you know.
Oh, for sure.
Get people
yeah.
going, a little bit excited.
Also, it gives a lot of opportunities to people to play
Sure.
like high buying tournament.
Well, I mean, right now we have what 3 satellites to the main today.
Oh,
they
yeah,
gave
for the
away
30
they
seats.
gave away 13 seats earlier.
30
They're in the
right,
13
36
seats.
guaranteed, and they're getting
And
more
now
seats.
we're gonna give another 13 seats away for this, and we got one more at 7 o'clock. Look,
Pretty sure
I'll tell
they're
you
gonna
what,
be
I'm
big.
excited. $240. It got me a seat to the main event. I'm okay with it. Like, I'll take it.
Bend that mic out. I'll
There we go.
Okay, we were just talking about the high roller, okay? 23 hours ago, Nick Papillo finished in 3rd place in the
Choctaw.
WPT Deep Stacks event at Choctaw. He just took a seat in the high roller.
He's a monster.
This is the way you get it done, okay? If you played Choctaw, you're on your way down here for the main event. Nick just showed up, got a bullet into the high roller. So now we're going to see that start to, pardon the term, the high roller be rolling.
Yep.
Reg closes for the 3,500 high roller at about 5:30 tonight. I'm sorry, at about 8:30 tonight. The start of level 9.
Yep. And you're
All right.
still gonna have plenty of chips to start.
Yeah, it was a slow start. But there's gonna be a bunch
very
of people
good
coming over the next 2
structure.
hours. Logan Hewitt just showed up. Matt Bodden's in there. Nick Papillo just got here. Sean Kunitz is debating about bullet number 5. So if you're looking for value and someone's fired 5 times, you might want to consider coming on down.
Sounds
Good
great.
night, y'all.
Sounds great. There's a lot of tournaments going on in Prime Social in Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
You can't, or you're missing it. If you're playing poker, you're definitely missing it. Unless you're playing a main event in Vegas.
Yeah, but here we talk about the main event in Vegas, but like right now, tomorrow the main event starts. It's 1.5 million guaranteed. You $1,700. You get 50K in starting stack, and you get 40-minute levels.
I think it's the only one.
Isn't it?
It's gotta be 50 or 60K, one or the other.
50K. Okay. Is that verified or no? Okay. It's close.
Yeah, I mean it's still deep
It's either
enough.
40, 45.
Right, there are a lot of players that plan to come in here if they don't make it deep enough in the main event. Vegas,
Well, sure. Well,
I
yeah,
already
but they
have
got
like
3
couple,
days to come back.
yeah, I
right?
have
Well, 'cause
already a couple
Dave,
friends.
1F is today, right? 50K.
50K verified.
So think again. So instead of a 10,000 tournament to the main event, which obviously everyone knows, right? But I mean, they're doing the same thing, 50K with 2-hour levels. It's been like that for years, right? So again, $1,700 buy, and you get 6 flights that you can rebuy into, and you're only getting like an hour and 20 minutes less than. What I'm saying is, it's a lot of gameplay.
Right.
You know, Justin's making this so you know.
Justin
people are
haven't
gonna
made it
oh,
for
yeah.
all the poker players to just always have a fun. Like, you're done, come in here, you
Yep.
have another one.
Yep, go ahead and finish it, do your thing, and just come
So,
out and fire bullets when you come
I'm
out.
personally expecting a lot of people coming out for the main event here.
So
can't
are we.
wait for
We
it.
got some things coming up that I won't be looking forward to, but I'm excited for us as a whole. Not too many things going on last 3 hands, huh? People just feeling each other out, or just
Well,
running
Drake
through the
just
cards,
got party with the kings, and he had some sweet pot for him because he's sitting very short right now. Every blind is gonna just help him so much, and
Sure.
Drake is capable of playing deep enough with the short stack.
Drake taking down the pot gives him 6 minutes right now,
Yeah,
right?
and a
So
lot
it's
of
just
players
like,
here knows Drake. They're not happy about Drake taking a pot also. opening again and under the gun. Or I think
No, he called.
we have a blind up actually. What we have
Guys,
is
give
this
us 1
12K.
second. They're gonna try to get the hands up.
Okay.
Normally, the readers and everything here, guys.
Yeah, well,
is
we
the-
have a clock. We're just kind of missing it, talking about like the promotion, I guess. But yeah, so blind went up to 12K. Drake Lim from under the gun with a little more than 11 big blind, or probably close to 11 big blind.
Literally, like
Anyway.
the same thickness of the damn chip on.
Pretty close. Oh, I know. Trust me. We've been doing this all year.
Yeah. Yeah, we're playing the 40 minutes blind level. Yeah.
My bad.
So David call with ace, queen, jack, 6, queen, high, 6 suit.
Oh, now
They
you can
get
consider
along.
this a very wet board, right?
They get along, especially the limp pot.
Sure.
Like there's a lot of straight, set, 2 pair. Everyone, I'm expecting everyone to play very, very cautious in this board. We'll see. Derek has a nice little straight, but we still don't know what the Drake and a DK is holding. It's still interesting to see if the Derek bats here or not.
You know what I mean? For even Derek, is this kind of just check, kind of call, and just see what happens? Or are you putting in the range of
It's
like
a hard
the
in
7-10
the
here
limp
right now?
pot in the 4 ways.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because it's a limp pot, 4
Right.
ways, and then like, are you just not trying to put any extra money in here? You're just trying to take it down right now.
Right.
Like, do you not think like 4-way action, especially with the spade coming on the river?
Look at David just stab it in without like
I like it.
as a like no blocker, just pure bluff here with the air.
I like it.
But also Derek knows like David is definitely capable of making a like bluff here, but he still has to worry about all the people behind behind him. 2 people are sitting with one big stack, 1 short stack, so he's trying to make the best decision here. Very impressed by his hasn't folded yet.
Blockers or nothing either, too, right? So that that could go into his thought process here too.
Right. He's more likely the person that if he has a blocker, he's gonna just raise there.
Oh wow.
But
This
nicely
isn't gonna
done.
get through.
Davey just stabbed it in, shoulder heart, took a nice small pot.
I'm gonna say Taylor reads. I'm just gonna say Taylor reads there.
I mean, it is super strong. He's out of position against 3 players behind with 1 big stack also.
And
He's
people
showing
can
his
put
heart
that into
here.
factor, right? Like you're putting that into factor. All right.
Right.
Just like Derek. All right, I have it straight here, but the spade is hit. He's leading out now. It's going
Right.
check, right?
It's a lot of like the brain,
And like you
the
said, that's
battles
a
are going
deep
on.
thought process of like when the deep complication of the thought process of playing PLO, right? Like you put yourself in that, you know that. So Derek's got to know everyone else should do that. So if I lead out here,
Right.
I should be having something like catching the spade,
Exactly.
or right, like you're doing it that way.
26 sounds.
But
Now,
also, he doesn't want to lose deck if David actually has a
Sure,
flush.
sure,
Because he's definitely going to play the same way as he has it or he doesn't have it.
Got it.
So that's why it's always very tough to play against the good players. Because I just can't really guess what they have.
Now Roberto went ahead and let out here with Queen 665.
Well, Timothy opened 20K. And then
Okay, so
Roberto
Roberto
flat
called.
from
Okay.
hijack with Queen 5-6 3 suit card. And
then
a Davey
flat,
call
double
Jack
suited.
10 7-8 double suited, which is very, very strong hand. I really like David's
Oh,
hand here
wow.
on the button.
Well, let's see this flop.
Yeah, but like David's hands is exactly the hand can crack aces or kings very, very easily.
Well, I believe we're gonna see somewhat action. in
We're
this
gonna
flop,
see
don't
a
you
lot of
think?
we're gonna see a big firework here.
Yeah.
Timothy's aces with double suited, which is very strong hand, and he's has enough flush draw here. Roberto has overpair with the queen high flush draw. We're gonna
I don't
see some
him
fire
not going
here.
anywhere. And guys, this is what means when I'm talking about variance of poker, right? Like right now, David does have 2 pair, but you guys could see the outs and see what the percentage is. Right now, David is percentage of 47%. Although because there's so much variance,
Right.
and
It also helps that Timothy is actually holding a pair here because he does have a 2 extra outs for his ace and a 3 to make a set, which is going to give him the best hand.
All right, so we get 3-way calls here. Let's see the turn. And, well, there's Jen for 2 players.
Yes, you definitely see the firework. And David improved to 3 pairs here.
Yeah,
Then-
now, so let's talk about it. David's got 3 pair here. Does he have equity to call this if it just goes like kind of min bet? Not heavy.
Right, but also like Roberto is holding the straight flush open ender. So actually,
So Roberto's
9 of heart and a 4 of heart
So I have a
will give
question.
him
Do
a
you
nut.
call if you're loaded here at this point? You're getting good price to your money to hit a 10, a 7, or an 8.
It's very tough here. He definitely can, but also 100k is very valuable in his stack. If he had a set, it's gonna be a little easier, but still 3 pair is not the best. But he has a position. I think it's really up to David wants to keep the stack or he's willing
Starting
to
do a
take the
little
big
gamble.
spot here.
Yep, taking a little. This is something that's if you hit it, you're going more likely. Like if
Right.
he hits another 10 here,
Right.
he knows he's going like right.
The
like
only
he's got
thing
the best.
about I don't like in David's spot here because his hand, if he calls, his hands become so face up here that
Polarized
he's
stuff,
always
right?
gonna have a set or 2 pair. So when you pair the board, you might not be able to get more money from the other players. So David made a very disciplined fold, which is I believe the very correct play. Because like I don't think he can ever get value.
This is
if they
actually
had
going to
paired
be
the
a
board.
very crazy river card,
Yeah,
right?
they're-
Because now there's a king here.
They're holding nut
Timothy
versus
check?
second nut. No, he's probably asking how much is in a pot. I don't see him just checking here. Because
I'm sorry. I saw his hand go down. I
right,
thought
he
said
asked for the
Okay,
pot.
I apologize. I didn't know. And I was like, ooh, this is crazy for Tiff.
It's very easy betting
Is there
spot.
any other check ranges in Timothy range to induce a bluff here?
He should not, because
Okay.
if Roberto has any weaker flush, he's most likely gonna check back a lot,
Okay.
and you don't want to have that happen.
That's an
So-
instant call.
And Timos decide to go little value over jamming to get more call from Roberto.
2 pair to 3
Hearts
pair.
everywhere.
We don't know what's gonna happen, but Timos definitely
That was good on the
won a
flop.
really good pot here.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm just gonna shuffle.
And it was pretty unfortunate for Roberto, especially when the turn, the river came and king of heart.
Sure. So now
That
it's
give him a
making him
second
his
nut.
literally second nut, right?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. It's fire. That's a firework card for them because right, it's the second nut
Right.
there. You're literally putting.
In
Ten
poker,
on
it's just so
case
hard to fold the second nut. Time to time, you can judge yourself because Timos was showing so much strength against the multi people,
Sure.
but doesn't mean
He's
you're
has it,
folding.
right?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
Well, it's the same thing too. I mean, if the king doesn't come out there, you're only beating 2 flush draws out there at this point, right? So it just
Well,
kinda like,
at that point, to be honest, the Roberto hands turning into the bluff catcher. That if Timothy is betting with the blocker or actually has it.
well, and don't
but-
forget too.
that's the why-
Roberto also had a straight flush draw as well, correct? So,
Right,
like,
on
right?
the turn, yes.
So,
And
yeah,
then River was just so good a price that he probably should have
just
never
had to call.
fold.
Yeah.
It was just so
How many
unfortunate
bluff
for
ranges for Timothy is there right now? Even though, like you said, he was representing, he was leading out, but like how much? Like 25% is that a bluff there?
I mean,
what I mean? If you're
you can
calculating
you
out-
can argue with that. It's so hard because if Timothy is holding aces with dry ace of heart, and then he's expecting to Roberto had a set, just by small betting you can fold out all the set, so you can make a very small bluff. So under Roberto's shoes, it's very unfortunate, but like he probably should not fold it up. And he does have a stack to call it off also.
Sure, and that's the thing
Right.
too, right? Like if he was short, stuff like that, he might have made the same lay down that.
Right. Once you start folding by small betting, because it's so obvious, you start making yourself very exploited. Like people can start.
No limit
You're
or like
also
not the small
losing
bet.
value on your hands, right? Like you said, if a pair poured on the river, they're polarizing his hand, right? Like,
Right.
you know, you're literally just saying if we're just a limp call there, if you're putting one person on the nut flush or something, or a straight flush draw or something, that someone's got to have a set at this point, right? You would
Right.
think so.
That's why exactly the reason why David ended up folding his 3 pair,
Sure.
even if he thinks he's getting a good price. His stack size is not enough to stand. He wants to keep the 100K for sure in this spot. Also, probably there's a lot of times also when he paired the board, his full house might not be good against the 2 people.
Sure.
So I think David made a
on
very
that,
correct
I would say
play.
like if he hit a 10 or something like that, it would have been pretty much a nut hand, right? Since he
Right.
went 10-8,
But
right?
it's like very dangerous thought. Like you're thinking the same thing. You already know the guy have aces and a no limit hold'em. You're holding 2 deuces and like I just can't stack him with if I hit the deuce type.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's-
Yeah, okay.
yeah. You're still looking for very thin outs, which you should not. You still have to play your game and like
Right, because in that situation with Roberto or with Tim, right? Like, okay, if it's a call, that's a call. Flush, that's okay. You can put one player in the flush, but let's say, okay, he's got a flush, I got a flush. His mine queen high, better. When the turn of hearts does come, when the king of hearts does come on the river, at this point, what is David representing other than the set? Because I don't think that they would put David's range not to be calling without either the ace nut high,
right.
flush draw, which is what obviously Tim. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
what would be David be calling there unless he had a set, correct? So, like you said,
Sure.
polarizing it completely, right?
See there, limp with queens double suited, and Timothy call, and DK actually holding really strong hand on here on a big blind. That's probably the reason why Derek decided to limp here, because he doesn't want to
Like, it
fold out
doesn't-
his equity.
like, we're talking about again, not only like you can create the point of the pot because it is PLO that you could actually price yourself out of equity, correct? Like you're at, with hands like this, double suited queens like that, and you don't want to do that, especially like you said. You got a lot of players are within the 300 to 800K range right now, right? There's 1 or 2 short stacks and there's 1 bigger stack, so everyone's between that 750 and 400K range within 7 players, right? So 5 of them are in that range, right?
We're seeing Derek Lim call with queens double suited, and it's probably get the Timothy out of the pot. So this is another thing about queens double suited. Earlier I said it that they might not be the good hands in PLO, but it becomes a better hand when you can make it to heads up. Yes. And you're seeing a king on a flop. Derek must be very scared of the.
Scare DK at all? It's very hard to call with pocket fours, pocket deuces here, correct?
It's really not. Derek should not have a lot of fours and deuces.
Sure.
As how good he is. You not worry about king because kings would definitely raise a pre-flop. So holding ace king here is pretty
Extremely
nutty.
strong. Yeah, it's pretty nutty,
Super
right?
nutty,
Absolutely.
yes.
Yeah. So, because you're just not putting players on that range, unless like it was like queen 5, like queen 5 of spades. But you know what I mean. But
Right.
very unlikely. Again, you're going to be getting stuff.
Yeah, it's even they have someone 2 pair. You have a 3 overcards on the other 2. You're drawing to the nut anyway.
Yeah, you have to still
So,
backdoor flush draw,
exactly.
right? For hand 22 here, blinds are 6, 12 to 12, $1,100 buy-in, 100K guarantee, PLO Championship. We are down to 7 players. Everyone's guaranteed $4,070. First place is just short of under 29,000. 7 players remain. How you guys doing? Fun and Reese here in the booth. Say hello, say something. You guys having a good time? Deep West, we agree with you 100%. If it is a cash game, that's a little bit different than pot odds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right? Like if it's a cash game, we talk.
Well, it's not about the more paras because like cash game, you're always gonna see it in very deep, so you have a lot of implied odds, like by calling it. But in tournament, like deep stack is 50 bigs or plus whatever, still not gonna get enough like implied odds to play. So yes, he's totally right.
A little bit of a badoogie head there for Ted. Right?
Yep. Roberta has an open ender with the pair sixes. It's leading here with Timothy's ace, king, queen, jack. Now they're giving the wrap with the three of all the overcards. I love to see the bet from Timothy here.
Yes. Now, are you keeping? I was there. Are you keeping a value about like half pot here? What's up back here?
Well,
Right, I mean, you made it 50.
It
right?
really
But-
depends. Like you also don't want to like play too big pot against another chip leader. When you have a marginal hand. But Timothy was also holding the ace of heart, which is less likely Roberto was chasing the flush draw.
I like this. Yeah.
And he decided to go bluff. I really like this play.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be very tough for Roberto to call off and just take it down.
And as you can see, Roberto is being once shift leader in our beginning of our final table has most definitely. He's right in the middle of the pack. Jason, hold on 1 second for you. Let me get that for you. It's not through Facebook. Hold on. Jason, thank you for stopping by. Yeah, that's your payouts right there. For some reason, Facebook doesn't do it. All right, son, what do you think about here? Single suit aces. Let's
That's
go.
a beautiful hand.
There we
This
go.
is Queen 10 with ace 10 suited. This is a spot when you're holding that hand under the gun. You're hoping somebody to just jam it in on you, so you can just not think about
Bing,
it. And
right?
then-
Just,
yeah.
Yep, just to make that
put
call,
it in
right?
the pre-flop. Most time with Dickie's hands is a mystery, so
Yeah,
it's fun
again,
to
I'm
watch
not
it when
sure
it's
if
happening.
he's. Yeah, it seems like he's about the only one that we're having consistent issues
Yeah.
with here a little bit.
If I want to play Final Tail, I definitely want to take that sit
Do
to
I?
hide my cards.
Like I put it on the table every time. I don't know why it's not working.
Yep. And Joe has an interesting card on a big blind with 10-9-6 for double suited, which is not great, but also you're playing multi-way with a double suited hand on a big blind. With the
Is this
discounted
something?
price.
Is this a position where you're kind of like, let's just see what the flop is. See if I could try to bust someone out on something like a main nut hand. Flop main
It's a
nut
decent
hand.
hand to see the flop, for sure.
Not so much.
See, this is not a great flop for David. Some in 4 ways, someone definitely can have the jack here very easy.
Right, any type of wrap.
He
any
does,
type
but he
of high
does have
wrap.
an open ender with the
Uh-huh.
backdoor flush draw, so it'll be interesting for him to see. I really like him checking here by David, because you can still call if somebody bets, and you still have a good equity in that hand in this scenario.
Now, in the
also.
position of DK here, does he try to take this pot automatically just to try to rep a jack here?
But it's just the same thing for DK too, because he's playing with 4 ways. He has to worry about someone is holding jack here. So this hand, this kind of board usually goes to check a lot.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to put their stack in. See, on the other hand, Joe decided to barrel with his pair with the flush draw. David definitely not gonna fold. He's holding a flush blocker. He's open-ender with overpair aces. This is very easy call spot for David. He can definitely just pot it to scare him off, but I don't know if it's a good idea against 4 people.
Right, again, you still got 2 players to go up against. The posse might be checking back at
David
Jack
made
here,
a
right?
fold. This is very disciplined fold. I assume because of his stack size, he can't call off his entire stack if it calls on the turn. It's just like other hand, Joe is.
Well, I think it's like you
showing
said
his
before, between Robert and DK right now, it's kind of like even unless you hit your case pair right now, because we do not know what DK has at this moment, right?
Right, but
Without the jack.
That's not the issue here. The reason why you want to call here with your old pair.
He's asking what's in here, right? Yeah, she's answering what is in here.
Because you're also gonna get to know if the person is holding jack or not. If they decide to bluff, yes, you're gonna be in the very, very tough spot. But if they scare of the jack, it goes to check a lot, and you can take down the pot. So DK is still in the mystery hand. He's in a tank on a button. I feel like DK is not taking this much time if he's actually holding the jack. But I feel like DK also holding some kind of a big draw hand to see if he's out alive. Right, and this is one of the beauty about being a chip leader. You always have less pressure than any other players. Like, you can always put the pressure on the other players, which is the beauty of being a chip leader. Yeah, I feel like we're gonna have a lot of fans for each players. We're still playing 7-handed.
You should get to see what I have.
We're still playing the 12K big blind
That's a good thing
and the
about
big
this,
blind
right?
any. I really love the
like,
big blind any
rewind and
PLO
stuff
game
like that.
because it makes game really faster
Always have an
and
answer, huh?
make people to play more hands because they can't just fold and wait for the good hands.
I don't remember what happened like 3 seconds ago, to be honest with
I think you had pocket 8s and you knew the 8 was coming on the
you. You're good. You're good.
Is the read clean?
That's exactly what that was.
Yeah, a lot of there's still a lot of PLO tournament. I'm not doing the any.
There's tip. Can I give you tip?
I personally prefer
Okay,
the
tip.
any game always. That makes the tournament game a lot more fun.
What is that?
We'll see another limp pot here. David is holding ace king 3-3 with the ace 3 suited. Now he's flopped enough flush draw again. And Joe has a top pair. And a DK has 2 pair with the flush draw.
Looks like the last one.
Oh, nah. Sounds fun. DK call with the bottom 2 pair with the 10 high flush draw, and also hit a gut shot straight to the nut here. And I really like checking back with the DK's hand. I mean, you can always bet it here with two hands. It's pretty strong actually. And then it comes to limp pot. Now he drilled a full house. Very easy. But I don't expect the David to bet here. He might just bet the blocker because he doesn't want to get raised in ace with the ace king. Now DK is definitely gonna bet. We'll see what kind of sizing he's choosing. I'm expecting to they're really small just to right, but sometimes even if you know, you just have to call because he might does with like same hand or some ace queen once the pair the board. Right, it's so easy to see and say what they should do, what they've done. Yeah, right, right. Yeah, I feel like DK had a, like really nothing and missed the draw, like straight draw and a flush draw type and missed it, and he can throw 20k, 5k bet just to get him off the like other weekend. So sometimes you know you just have to call this, which the part that I really hate. It's like you know you're losing, still have to call sometimes. Right. 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 True. Team here opens with the 26k. Jack a 7-7 double suited. It's pretty marginal hand. It's definitely a little. It's more like we can say like a little loose here instead of the aggression. It's just a pre-flop play, but yeah, it seems a little bit loose. But also, you have to know the team is had like close to million chips, so he can definitely putting pressure on the people. That's the stacks are very important. You can open whatever you want. DK, your call with ace queen queen deuce with the ace queen suited, which is very strong hand. Look, probably like don't mind seeing him three betting here also. Joe, king jack 5, we decide to three bet here. So this is one problem with the opening marginal hand when the chip leader is sitting on the button. You can always get three bet pretty light, and you never want to play the big pot with another chip leader when you're leading the second chip lead when all other short stacks are behind. So now Joe has king high blocker, king flush blocker with the backdoor flush draw. DK, they both have overpair here. And a DK actually had a gut shot to the to make the wheel. So I feel like we're gonna see some betting and some calling on a flop. Joe decided to pot here. It's more of so here. So here it's more like a no, this is really actually I like Joe's play here. He's trying to deny all the equity here because he knows that DK never have aces, so he's gonna only lose to set here, which is only gonna probably we're expecting nines, so he should not have a lot of threes and fours, and he should not have a lot of a 3-4 2 pair. Which is only gonna make sense with probably like 3 4 5 6 or ace deuce 3 4, which is still very loose. So by potting here, you're giving hard time to DK to continue any kind of hand that DK has. So I actually, and also Joe does have a king high king of heart, which DK is probably not gonna have it a lot of flush draw with the overpair type. So I personally like Joe's play here. It's very important to have a lot of equity on a PLO line table. And also DK has a lot of chips, so if you let him outdraw on you, you might just gonna take a big hit. And let's say if DK still had enough flush draw, it's just so hard for him to call there for his like 40% of his stack just to draw. We know he's trying for the nut, but if he has enough flush draw, you still don't know what the opponent will fold the like aces there. So I really like Joe's play here.
I didn't see it, like I said, you should kind of, your hand tilted slightly, I could have.
You're talking about King 987 double shooter? It can be, but he didn't open, he limped here. So he's trying to play full squad with the hand. He still has over 50 big blind with his stack. And King 987 still marginal hand, but it's not that bad. It actually performs pretty well against all the like opening range and strong hands type. It'll be a lot better if the Ace of Hearts instead of King of Hearts opens. But you can't always have it all. And also, probably because the drag was shorter stack was on a big blind, it's probably like more, encouraging to do it. But at this point, like Drake is really good player. He knows like DK never gonna limit the strong hand. So, well, we don't know what the Drake has right here, but he can easily just pot it. Right, but also it's very good play by Drake because Drake knows they should not call off all the marginal hand when he does it. We'll see that Derek is holding 10-9-4-5. It's not a great hand, but Derek also knows what Drake is doing. And now there are a lot of dead money on the pot. But I feel like with the Derek stack size, it's gonna be pretty tough for him to call off. It'll be very interesting to see. We have Alex Optional Green on the chat. Glad that you can hear me. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Alex Optional, what's up, buddy? You can only hear him? Oh. What's up, Reverse? I don't know.
Derek is really taking his time here.
Alex, you still in Vegas? Oh, he said never mind.
It's a lot of tricks like squeezing range. Derek still can flip a lot here with the 40% equity. And there's a lot of dead money. Two people already put the dead money in the pot. So Derek is trying to figure out the math. He's going for the math or the chip reservation.
I think too, if he calls wrong here, right? If he calls wrong here, he's also you're gonna basically be flipping stocks with.
He's never gonna be wrong calling here because, like I said, all his squeezing range with the Derek's hand, and it's because of the the characteristic of a PLO. Derek's gonna have 40% equity a lot of times, which means now with all the dead money, Derek actually has the right price to call.
Right price to call.
Only problem here is he okay with losing 70 to 80?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. At this point too, if he doesn't win the hand, he's just going to be swapping with Drake at this point, right?
And he also knows that Drake will be very dangerous if he like chips up from here.
Yeah, if you give you give Drake some chips,
right, you have two minds in this scenario mostly. Like you kind of don't want him to give him a chest, but also you don't want to double him up. Like I can see it's like debating it very here that because of that reason.
Sure.
I mean, it looks very bad hand, 10-9-4-5, single suited. it looks like very easy flow.
But again, I agree with you.
circumstances,
Yeah, with the
all the
circumstances, you're
situation.
thinking about it, right?
It's actually a pretty tough decision.
Any calls?
Call.
Greg, can you open that quick for me? Thank you. You're good.
Okay, everybody's blocking the screen. You can't see what
Yeah.
hands.
No,
Okay, we
yeah,
see
this is-
Drake has ace queen jack 3. So
Okay.
Derek, so you can see Derek has a 53%.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Like they're flipping here. So he made the correct call in a math wise.
Oh, that's a
Oh.
flush for Drake here.
Drake just drilled a nut here.
Yeah. Drake's gonna get a full double.
Derek.
And he pulled 2 pair out there too.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, he pulled 2 pair on the turn when he hit it. Yeah.
It's like random, but you'd be better off just that way.
So Drake doubles
Yeah.
up here.
Crazy enough, like he actually, I mean, other than the flush right there, though. But I mean, the flop, he had some. Like if you saw that flop, if he would have just called the flop, he was gonna get it anyways with the.
Well, but the thing is, then stepwise, it should never happen like that. Like if Drake was deeper, Derek would never gonna call. Like situation that situation will never gonna happen.
Gotcha. Ben, you shouldn't have gotten any ads. I don't know. I don't think you guys should have gotten any ads. I don't even know what you're I don't know.
Oh, did we have an ad?
I mean, I don't have him. I don't know why you would have seen
We're
ads.
on a break. See, they're counting on chips.
Yeah.
Yeah, the players
You
are
wanna
on
go
a
ahead and
break
take-
right now.
You want to go ahead and take a break?
We'll
Guys, we're going to take a
minute and come back.
10-minute break. Thank you very much. Stay in here. Me and Sung in the booth. Alex, best of luck, buddy. I know you got some still chips in there, but thank you for stopping by. Greatly appreciate it.
They exist.
Hey, David, how we doing? How many entrants? Matt Quicken, which one, buddy?
Those two are right. I'm not sure about the rest.
You talking about the Plo Championship? Was 106 entrants.
All right,
guys,
we're
welcome
back
back.
here.
Yeah, here we go.
Back
And we
in
got
the
a flop.
booth. They're playing 15K level now. I believe we may have missed 1 or 2 hands. See, everybody's sitting with the same stack.
Yeah, everyone's same stack. Nothing's happened. I don't think so, because Drake had the button last hand, so buttons. Yeah,
no,
buttons.
Drake was a big blind. Yeah, also big blind.
Oh, we might
Drake
miss
is-
one
we
hand.
missed out a couple.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry about
Gotta
that.
take an extra break real quick. Get ourselves pretty.
All right, so we can give you guys a better commentating.
Yep.
So we saw
That's some
Drake
tough work,
doubled
as you
up.
know. Yeah,
Yeah.
Drake doubled up
Drake
when we
doubled up
left.
last hand of
Yep.
the break, which is very sweet. Now Drake has more chips to work on.
Which is honestly dangerous.
Very dangerous
Yeah.
for all other players.
Yeah, Drake is most definitely someone very dangerous when he has chips. I wouldn't say no one at this table at the moment haven't earned the spot and haven't gotten to where they're at, but
Right.
like Drake is most definitely someone who I wouldn't want on this final table to accumulate a massive amount of chips.
Right. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of finer tablers here in the PLO.
Because we're having a little bit of an extra tracking issue. Just give it a moment.
We're catching up.
Yep, catching up. Exactly. So everyone in the stream, how you doing? Reese and Sung in the booth. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. I could not win by myself, so I decided to see who's winning.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, refresh myself.
So are you going to play in the main event?
Oh, for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, 100%.
So you're going to fire one or a couple bullets? Have you think about doing some swats?
I mean, I usually don't give up until I bag, but
Nice.
we'll see. It's still pretty big money.
Yeah. 17 is
$1,700.
not that,
Yeah.
We're not going for a brace at all, but 1700 still isn't that. We are
Yeah.
going for a nice little trophy, though.
I
So that's
definitely
that too.
tried to set into it. I could not make it either. So,
There we go.
all right, we
All right,
have
guys, we're gonna miss some
Yes,
the blind action here, but we should be getting a flop here soon. So, or we should get. It should catch up here in a second.
So now the David and Derek are sitting the shortest deck here. They both still have more than 10 big blinds, and Drake has right around.
What was it?
200K.
205, something like that. Maybe like 220.
Yeah, it shows 194, but I believe it's gotta be above 200. So Roberto bet with the mystery hand, Joe call with the top pair with the flush draw, 9 high flush draw, and he drilled the middle set here.
Yeah.
Also putting the double flush draw.
Double flush draw out there. Plus, Jack in the River also wouldn't be the worst card for him either. So. Alright, so Roberto's got Queen Jack 4-3 here. So Roberto's got 2 pairs. 2 pair over his set right now. Jack would be an action card. How about quads on the river for Joe?
Easy game. So Robert did have
easy
a
game, right?
top 2 pair on the flop.
Yeah.
But this card also does not gonna make Joe to make more money here. This is Roberto. Now his top 2 pair got counterfeited. He can't really continue.
Sure. Again, no. 460K already in the pot. I mean, this is a massive pot here. Bro's gonna check. Is there any type of valued hand, or like any type of hand here that can be called any type of bet? I mean, 125 is a large bet here. He's hoping, I'm guessing, Robert kind of filled up.
It's actually considered as a small bet here. So he wants Roberto to bluff catching. Still, there's a lot of draws. Missed it on the flop. Joe called with the draw. He's definitely bluffing with his hand. So now Roberto is pure bluff catching here. We'll see if he wants to call here.
135.
I really like the sizing by Joe here.
Sure, so say I'm trying to figure out what. Yeah, so that, I mean it's gonna get called right here too. That's a 710K in the pot with quads.
He showed a full house first, and then
And
he showed the pot eight.
Yep. He's just like, okay, that was good. Okay, that's better. You know what I mean? Like,
It doesn't matter. Once they show
Yeah.
1-8, it's done. But he definitely get nice little value from top here.
sure. So again, that was an accurate range, or that was an accurate price to
size.
put out there,
Yeah.
bet size to put out there,
Like,
right?
you don't want to scare him out. Just definitely. Like, I really
Do you
like
believe that was a little bit of a loose call though for Roberto? Kind of like, you know what I mean? Like,
It's really hard to judge because, like I said, the board was like Jack deuce 4 with the 2 spade.
Like you said, more of a
Joe can
bluff
have a lot
catcher
of
and
a
anything,
flush
right?
draw, straight
Okay,
draw.
yeah.
And he should not bet his jack, so it's not that bad call by Roberto. It's just so unfortunate he's running into like
Demeter
top of
hands.
his
Yeah, top of his ring.
like we talked about it. Like it's so easy for us to judge because we see the whole card.
100%.
When you're playing it, you better for every single street, every single chip.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow, Jack.
we have a Derek at an ace king 10 deuce. He's sure under the gun. We'll see how he plays out his hand. He's definitely trying to get it in pre-flop here. So I'm expecting him to potty here.
Which it looks like exactly what he did. He bet it out
He did
55. Yeah.
So he also want everybody to fold. He's okay with it. And if somebody goes all in, he's willing to put his money here.
Sure.
And he just take it down. And this is one of the spots you have a very good hand. But you're so happy to take down the blinds.
Yes.
That hand
Sure.
in PLO. So
Again, picks up about, 2.5 big blinds right there. So
exactly
like
now,
a
the blind is so high that you're picking up 2.5 big
yeah,
blind. Is
2
so
point.
huge.
Yeah.
And actually, because of the level structure, he's actually getting 2.7 big blind, which is
Sure.
0.2 extra.
Yeah. Yeah. You're getting 2x to put in your stack in there good, or at least some maybe not good, but just you're going all in with this hand. Like I
Right.
like this hand. I'm gonna
And
go
I'm
with
pretty
it.
sure
Right.
if someone put him an all in, there was not folding his hand there.
Right. I mean,
Ace King's
nothing
very
too much
strong.
going to be put him against, like,
Oh, we have a very
60-40
pretty hand
kind
in
of.
Timothy here with the pocket kings with the double suited.
Double suited. Let's
Very,
go.
very strong hand. This is one thing probably you want to do it like he's been also opening pretty loose pre-flop. Now when you have a strong hand, he can get a lot of value from other players too. See if anybody else has the card to play against. 35 is not a big bet. It's a little over the min bet. So, and Derek is very short. He's willing to
75
play every
already in the pot, right?
Right. So if he had any decent card, he's probably willing to continue. He ended up folding and we never get to see his card. In PLO, the game can change so fast. Even you're sitting with like short stack, you can be a chip leader in next level, like next orbit. It's so easy. And they are all best PLO players. It's gonna be very interesting to watch them how to play this final table. Okay, fold up, queen 10-9-3, double suited. And Roberto, looks like he wants to play king 10-9-7, single suit. So fold out his hand. David is on a button. He's sure he's looking to have the hands he can get it in there. There with a7 deuce deuce. Having a 3 suit is not great. And also his stack size, he might not want to play too much, but he's in a small blind. He only needs to put 5k more to see the flop. And Drake just see the flop. Drake actually has a pretty decent hand also. Jack 6, deuce double suited. And Drake drills a middle pair with the flush draw and a backdoor flush draw, which is not a good suit. Roberto at the top and bottom continues, and he's going to take down the pot.
Not gonna happen.
We have a question here. He calls and said, with the blind so short, wouldn't he want to make a small raise rather than open limp? It really depends on like the stack size. You're right about some situation. If you're sitting with like 20 bigs, a little less, I would be willing to open like min open and play the pot.
Also depends on what hand you're opening up with too, right?
I mean,
like if it's connecting well,
already,
your range.
I already
yeah.
assume your range is going to be a little tighter because of that. But I also agree, like, definitely want to like min raise it. But when you're super short, like 10 bigs or less, you definitely want to pot it so you can also have the keep the 1 SPR to get it in on the flop.
Sure.
If somebody calls.
Oh, they were saying blinds versus blinds.
Blind versus. No, I think he meant for both blinds were short. The other guy, why the Roberto limp? I think that's what he's asking.
Now, interesting.
It can really go either way, but also I've been seeing Roberto just limp a lot of hands.
Derek is gonna pot this with 4 suits in his hand.
Yeah, the thing is because it's short, he has to put all his stack with the 3-betting with the ace king on his hand, and DK is holding king king. He also has to assume if Derek has aces here, he's drawing really thin. I really like 3-betting gem here by Derek. Also, a lot
So
of
this is Sung approved? This is approved?
yeah.
This
DK's
is Sung
range is
approved,
supposed to
okay.
be very weak, but he does have a king king. But also look at his hand; he has a dry king.
Right, yeah,
no
strike
suit.
kings, no suit.
So he's purely like has to assume that Derek has the hand that what he has, which is also like 10 big blind is going to be very valuable for DK, and DK made a very disciplined 4, which is very fortunate for Derek, but it's so hard.
Right.
That's why when you're short
Hello,
and
Miss
you
Lisa.
have the hands like the Derek has, you have to get it in to give the pressure to the other player.
Sure.
So continue to the question that he was asking. Yes, you're right. I agree with some situation. Both blinds are like 11 to 12 big blind, and you kind of want to min open over limp just because you
right,
don't
over
want them
limp
to in
and
the
then limp.
pot.
Yeah, sure.
But at the same time, both like blind, small blind, big blind are the like one of the best PLO players on the table.
Right.
They can easily just like 3-bet shove light, just like what they have, and you're
Yeah,
gonna
Derek's a prime example of what you just had,
have to
right?
put
Yeah.
all your stack in with the marginal hand. So
Because you're going to be able, again, just like we saw
Right.
Derek. Derek did it,
He's capable of making a big move.
and Kings did lay down because of the variance of PLO still,
Right.
where someone could have a good look at a hand like that. The other 2 cards might not. Now, if he had one type of suit, and maybe like a Jack 9, Jack 10, it's an instant call, right? Like that's an instant call.
So that's the thing. It's so hard to judge in PLO that what is the right strategy for what. It's every situation is very different. I really don't mind opening like against a short stack, but also I'm okay with limping it time to time.
All right, so you're Timothy. You got 900K. You're potting it here for what reason? Are you potting it
David
because
is
they
not-
are dry aces, or are you potting it
No,
to
because
just?
you're ISO, obviously, and you definitely want to get it
Okay.
into flop with aces.
So
always
David
wrong.
is all in here.
David has a queen high rundown with the one gap,
Right.
which is very good card against aces. You can see the percentage. He still have a 40%.
About 60-40, yeah.
And he
Okay.
does have a pair with the bottom wrap.
And now
two
flush
pair.
draw.
Oh, and
And
he
how about a straight? How about a straight? Again, that's why King Jack 10 8 can be so scary. Like with like
well, it's a bit different. Like for example, let's say I personally would hate more if David was holding King Queen Jack 10 over Queen Jack 10 not 8.
Sure.
If that makes sense, because like a lot of teams range can contains ace king or ace ace king king.
Which is
Holding
what he
king in
had,
this
correct.
spot can be actually like losing some equity against those hands. So by queen high rundown actually perform way better
Sure.
against the king's range. That's exactly what David wants to, so he can put it in. So only aces and kings can repot it there, and he's willing to.
Again, he's got 900K in chips, right? And Derek had what, 88,000 left, 98,000 left.
Oh,
So
he said, like,
I don't know what you guys are
ads.
still keep on getting ads. We haven't seen an ad, nor have I seen anything pop up on our screen stating you guys are getting ads. So I apologize.
Yeah, I apologize.
I do
for it.
not know. That must be production of something that I'm not aware of. Now, with Joe, you got 2 million chips. You're looking at a double suited pair of eights again, which got him quads last time. Are you starting to lean on the legs a little bit here with 2 million chips? So Joseph's got double suited
Yes.
with
and
his
no.
eights, so you get
Yes, and no. And
got
here,
quads
though,
last time.
having that much stag in final table is a big advantage.
Okay.
So you actually want to like gear up and keep pushing through everybody because.
All right, start pushing on the legs, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
we just see what happened too. Like even the other person has aces. It's not guaranteed to win, or it's not guaranteed to have 80% of just like no limit holding.
Sure.
So Joseph having 2 million chips right now is really good position to just keep pounding everybody, because everybody's thinking about ICM wise, and they're looking for the good spot to double. It's really good, like time for Joe to just pound every hand.
Sure. Well, again, like this, I like to see him understand exactly what you're saying and say, okay, look, I got to check here, and then yeah, he's gonna start valuing his hands a little bit. 50K he's gonna lead out here with.
And now Roberto has like the wrap with the pocket 10. He's probably gonna want to continue here, and it's okay to even he has the hand that he has. He can't really put all his stack because he doesn't want to get bust before other short stack.
Sure.
That's the one of beauty of the ICM in this spot, that you're having done, you just bring all the pressure to
Yeah,
other
you're
players.
just pressure,
Exactly.
right? Yeah.
So it's same
Leaning
thing,
on
like,
that legs, keep on going strong.
right. Let's say if Roberto has 600-700K, he will easily call this spot to see if he can hit his
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like you saw now out of the 7 players, 4 are all underneath 18 big blinds. So it's just like this is where you could be Joe and be like, okay, I'm gonna start leaning, I'm gonna start being overly aggressive. Opening ranges like that, double suited connectors, always not bad. Some connectability to it, but not premium, but it's connectability, right? Jack 8 versus 8-4, you know what I mean? It's not there, but
So just continuing what DePaul was asking, just my pure opinion. I'm not
with the open lip
really
range,
the
you saying?
super pillow crusher, but what the lip, it's always the pros and cons in both sides. You can definitely min open or raise small to just push them out because it'll happen most of the time. But also because by limping, you let them see the flop with the hands and you take the position to play post flop, which is also benefiting you when you're sitting with the bigger stack and the blinds or short stack. So I really think it can go either way. I don't think there's any like perfect answer for it. Sorry about that, but it's really up to the situation. And but the Roberto side, we also been seeing he's been limping a lot of hands
Yeah.
in general. So
So the
wasn't sure what
Kings here
he
for
was
Joe.
plan was, but he took it down, so kind of worked out for him. And we're playing blind versus blind game here. I believe there was a raise pre-flop,
Yes, there's a raise of 45 pre-flop.
and it just snap all in on the Joe's side. He has a top set, and I think
7?
he has
seven?
only the 7 pounds here. I don't know if anybody folded 7. I missed it.
Give me another king.
1-7 was folded for sure.
Right. Oh, and then he bought it up there. The king's full raises and had another knockout. Joe is just knocking everybody out here in
Yeah.
the table.
Yeah, you didn't want to see an 8 there. His
Right.
spot 7's the only one you wanted to see right there. And that's going to take out 7th place finisher to 6 players.
Getting shorter and shorter, and
Roberto, greatly appreciate you playing. Ran strong. Made $4,070. So now, everyone's guaranteed 5,100.
right.
5,140. And then there were 6. Verified.
Verified.
And there were. Hey, what about that cut card? That cut card looks amazing. Uh-huh.
Perfect, thank you.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot of money.
Hey, so I think Ben would appreciate that new cut card. So Ben from Thunder Valley. Sir, if you were out there, thank you for coming in my the stream here at Prime Social for dealing with their deep stack. And the cut card has been changed just for you.
I wait to hold them to super fun. Do what?
Champ still says, let's go, Tim.
Super fun. Blast off 150K at the 1K, 2K blinds with queen high just to get called down by middle pair.
See a lot of short stack, and Joe
Oh,
just
look at
has
this.
all
Almost
the stacks.
almost exact hands here for Derek and for Drake.
And Joe, I think Joe just has all the chips.
Oh, yeah.
It was open. He called the open. I 3-bet.
Oh, and David has a kings and 7s.
So he called the open.
He's definitely gonna put it in his stack here.
Calls down a second pair when I bet.
Yeah, and at this point, though, Joe could take a couple hits, right? I mean, he's going up to a 200K stack, right? You could take a couple hits. You could try to peel some crazy cards like this. Jack died 6-4. You know what I mean?
You can, but also being a chip leading and like all the big stack, you don't have to take
The unnecessary risk,
unnecessary
correct?
spot, yes.
Yeah. Unnecessary risky
Right.
spot. Don't put yourself too bad where next thing you know you.
Right.
Okay, so you didn't. So Joe is taking. He's taking your advice, sir. Half an hour ahead. He's already in the future. He got you. He already took your advice.
I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people already know. I mean,
look at this.
a lot of players are very comfortable playing a deep stack, obviously. So, and he's looking at all the small stacks.
Need somebody to take over and do some work. 'Cause I've been doing all the work on the final. I tried to do the work, but you guys are just relaxing.
So he's holding more than 50% of stack.
What time we gotta be there?
I'd argue he might have been playing.
Just great feeling, especially in PLO. So hard to beat the chip stack.
That's a pretty nails. We have a new dealer that has jumped into the booth.
Time to do the bomb pot.
Yeah, right. Bomb pot time. Let's go. New dealer, double board bomb pot. Plo style. Let's go. Thank you, Lynn, Texas, for that.
Yeah.
Come on.
The bomb pot is so great.
Gamble out a little bit, right?
It's a fun game.
Massive. They can just break people or make people or break people every time. It's just so insane. Take 300 cent of double board bomb pot, Plo style, peel it, and come out with like 15 2K within that first hand. And you just bought it for 300 or 500. You're like, oh, thank you very much. You know?
So now Joe can just open any hand with like ace in his hand type right now.
Especially like in position like he is right now, right? He's on the button. He can
Right.
squeeze out there.
But even without the position, he just like no one wants to play with him right now. And also he's like hitting a lot of hand. He's showing a lot of good hand. He's playing good. Like
yeah, I mean,
he's dominating
final
final table right now.
He's showing domination, but on top of domination, he hasn't really gone out of line in
Right.
comparison to table showdown, correct? And actually, I think
That's
I don't
why
think
he's in
lost.
final table.
Right. Yeah, I don't think he's lost any
Right.
pots since he's been into past the turn.
Right.
That he hasn't showed down and taken down a pot. It's true, he just with a lot of Plo players, he's just being run over by cards. In the top
Playing very
process
good.
of what people are saying, right? Like
Yeah. Still playing six-handed.
So brutal. So brutal.
Team folded.
Tim
And
still has his
Team
chip there.
Team is
It is
really
he still
smart
has
to
his
like
chip.
keeping his stack.
I think
to
Tim
can't take a
realizes
big
the
hit.
position he's in
Joe.
right now, right? He's like, okay, I'm third, second in chip.
Right.
I got two shorties here. He's still not gonna give, he's not gonna give up any more chips necessarily because this is the point I would think, okay, because of the variance of PLO, let me ladder up one or two at this point, and then the chips
Right.
are gonna start kind of getting a little bit more.
We're playing a hand three-way, two short stack and a chip leader. Joe decided to limp with his hand right now. We'll see how the hands played it here.
Check.
Joe has the top
Still
here.
the best of it,
Check.
right? As of
Right.
right now.
It's gonna be check, and Joe's gonna make like small bet and gonna take down.
And then, like you said, last two hands right there, he's made an extra 90,000
Right.
in chips. That's another 8 big blinds. So that half the chips is now getting even the 60%. It just is going to keep on.
Especially here in Houston.
And he can do that. He can necessarily call with like you said, ace value in his hand. He's going to call, especially if he's suited.
Right.
You can call anything.
It's so interesting to see because I remember the last hand he had ace queen 7 something and decided to raise. This time he had ace queen 7-7. He decided to limp. So he's mixing it all his play.
Mixing it up.
Right.
His range is open. So
Right.
He's not polarizing his image.
Right. It also saw probably the Derek and the Drake has been like 3-bet jam all stack like pretty often. So I believe he was. I kind of wonder if his plan was to call off their 3-bet jam or letting it go. That would be kind of interesting to know that for sure.
I can ask him later.
It's definitely like crushing everybody here.
Well, I mean, Joe is really confident of coming out here. He
Right.
He
Oh,
came out from Detroit.
So
came
I
out.
was on the same table with Joe on the day one until the bag. I busted out like one away from the begging, 1 or 2 away from the begging. He was playing very solid and good. So I'm not surprised that he's playing really good today. Interesting to see Derek, Lynn Button, and Timothy and Drake there. Oh,
Okay.
hello.
Well, that is a straight from Derek.
So he has a second nut straight and a backdoor flush draw. And he's holding bottom 2 pair also. So we're definitely going to see Derek's going to put his money in here. We still don't know what Timothy has.
Well,
So
at this point, the best he could have is the exact moment he's jack. Queen
Right.
jack, right. That is the nut hand at the exact.
right,
Yeah,
but
he
even
would
with the
have it.
Queen Jack, Derek's
Derek's got
hands.
so many outs, right? Like,
Right.
Okay, so even better for Derek. He's
All in.
only got queens. So.
Right. Derek take down the nice sweet pot there.
Nicely done.
Jack 7. Jack 7.
You're fine. Everyone in the stream, Reese in the booth. Someone went ahead and took off for a couple of minutes, had to take care of some things real quick. How you guys liking it? You guys enjoying it? Hopefully the commentary is good. I like the fact that Sun's in here giving me a little bit extra, like a in-depth conversation. Wow. What was that? You know, so hopefully you guys really enjoy it. A lot of support out here for Tim and for Drake and for Joe, everyone so far. So greatly appreciate you guys doing that as well. The more the merrier, more people in the stream like it. We're at hand 42 here. 10, 15, 15 are the blinds. Gilmer says go Derek.
Alright, where are we at?
We are being dealt.
Here, right? Getting homesick, though, man.
We still have the Joe commanding lead here, and having 3 short seconds left.
You have it?
I don't have a home. I just moved out of mine.
You just live here at Prime Social?
No, I'm on the road traveling.
Oh, really? Yeah. Do you guys go to
So
Hammond?
you have Jack 7 last time?
I thought I seen you guys there. You guys do WP, WF
There's
Circuit?
definitely a lot more tabletops now.
I did the last
So you
one.
glide down the shot. Right.
Yeah, I was
There's
there.
a little bit bigger money now.
I knew you were
Right.
I knew the first dealer that was here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we're all independent contractors.
six.
We don't travel as a group. We just kind of
Team DK, Joe, David, Derek,
work together with some of the same
Drake.
I work with like 5 different groups.
We have a mystery hand of DK again,
I work with Vegas.
and Timothy has 8 high flush draw.
See, I'm all on the east
Timothy has
coast,
been
so I'm
playing
more
pretty
like
aggressive.
Cherokee's really good. You've been down there.
Certain market
Cherokee,
spot,
North Carolina.
so
That's a really
see how it's gonna play out here. Now you feel about the pair.
North Carolina, huh?
The mountains.
Check.
Don't mind betting here also.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Worth it. It's
Just
really good.
drown out all the
It's one of the biggest
small pair, but
mountains.
oh, it's also blind versus blind.
Yeah,
I see.
blind
Yeah, it's gonna be always the blind versus blind. It's gonna create more.
I'll give you that. I'll give you season days.
Third Thanksgiving Day it starts.
Oh, really?
DK win bet here.
They're all 11 days.
Thursday circuit? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll be there.
Check.
And there's a 4.
Jack.
4 putting the straight out there. The Will got there, and a 7 high straight.
Looks like a muff hand. Yeah, good.
Okay. So DK won the hand.
Yep, DK won
They'll
that.
do one in April.
At Hammond.
No. The Cherokee one in North Carolina. They do
Here's the thing, like sometimes aggression,
Thanksgiving in April.
like, is important if probably in the betting
No, they usually do it in March.
Yeah.
instead of calling.
All I did was
Well, again, Tim's in a position where he needs to still keep it. I mean, at this point, Tim's not trying to get second, right? He wants to try to get as many stacks.
Right,
Or, you know, he wants to get his stacks and
right,
get his
but
match.
he's definitely considering the ICM wise.
Yeah.
There are 3 short stacks sitting on his right.
Oh, check 2020.
He
Sorry.
definitely looking forward to bust it out or get some big spot against a chip leader.
25-25 now. 15, 25, 25 are the blinds.
Yeah, I think they just went up to 20K level.
Are they?
20K, 10K.
I
Now,
thought she literally just said 25.
now the short
Oh,
stack
she
has
just said that.
more pressure
Oh, yeah.
because the blind went
Okay,
up.
so we are at 10 points.
David let it go. King Queen Jack 7. He's about to be the big blind next hand. Made a really disciplined fold.
Oh,
And Drake's trying to get it in with 5-6-8-8, which is very unfortunate because we're seeing team already had aces. The ace, king 9, 3 suit.
You see one of the 8s are going to be dead in DK's hand as well.
Right, team definitely gonna put it in to put Drake all in, and
Raise 175.
he's talking about the ICM.
Oh,
right?
I see him.
The chip
Yeah,
value
28,970.
currently,
Correct.
yeah, that's how much he has.
Just whispering to himself right now. The first card he saw was an ace.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's just
but
like
he knows it's not a spot that he wants to take at all.
All right, can I win one this time?
It's very unfortunate for Drake.
Oh, I didn't have no 8.
And also, pairing his hand is very, very bad against aces. So, we'll see still he
Yeah,
has
I mean,
a
there's still
44% equity.
Yeah. Let's see how the flop goes, right?
Right.
Heart's not the worst thing. That's not a bad. That's not
Flush
bad
draw.
for Drake.
See if he can survive. And he made his pair, but
Alright,
give him
now
a flush draw for
Yep.
the team. Oh, and drill the top
Trip
set
aces.
to
Drake is going
get
to be
another KO.
eliminated.
Thank you. I was like, don't crack them twice in a row.
Yep. 6th place.
Good game, Drake.
Nice run, sir.
He was kind of short
Yeah, he was
all the final
yeah.
table, but he maneuvered
Hey,
stacks so well.
laddered up 4 positions. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's not only that.
Sure.
On top of that, you also have a better chance to win bigger money always.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Drake playing so good today. And it's just a little unfortunate. Sometimes you never had a card to play.
again, sometimes.
Drake.
Yep. Sometimes you know the deck just doesn't hit you the way it needs to be, or
Right.
you know you put yourself okay. I'm gonna raise here, I feel comfortable, and then you get a 2-bet or you get 3-bet, then you get 4-bet. I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe this isn't the correct spot, but that just cost you 4 big blinds, right? And it's just kind of like, okay, for someone he only had, you know, coming into only what 15 big blinds, I think, at the point.
Right.
And I think Drake did the best he could at the final table. He's been in this position before. He's done it massively amounts of times, like, you know. And I mean, unfortunate. That's it, but it happened.
It's a heartbreaking, like,
Oh my God!
knockout from
so,
the final table.
Oh yeah. Because at one point, anyone at the final table, even like, okay, I made it here. Now I'm gonna get there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Your heart you just want that first. It's hard to get. You know what? Everyone says it's hard to make a pair and hold them. It's hard to get to the final table. So when you're there, it's like, you know, it doesn't happen so often. Oh, and this is where he spilled the drink.
And when you're against, when you're playing against all the good players,
Sure.
it's even tougher.
Just a little water.
There's sensors right under it.
There I am. I need more intel, guys. I need wraps.
It's not a lot, but it's right on top.
It's gonna go right in the
We're gonna take about 30 seconds here.
Just wipe
Gentlemen
it up.
spill the drink, and sometimes in the sensors, they'll RFID. Sometimes you don't want to do it, but I went ahead and told her, oh my God, Joe just flops quasi here while David's got top pair. Top of his eye right there. Oh my God, this ain't good.
It's gonna be the end for David. Very unfortunate, but I don't think David can.
Can you fold from this? And you got 180K in chips. Can you fold this? Like in cash game, right? Yeah, I mean,
But I'm
you know.
kind of more surprised that David didn't show pre-flop, didn't party pre-flop. I think they go check on a pre-flop. Holding ace king here is pretty nutty on a pre-flop. I'm kind of surprised that David didn't put his stack in pre-flop.
So now this is how I feel a little bit. All right, so you did you remember? So you remember that?
Check
No,
raise.
check raise 50. Okay.
That's what I thought. It's like 2 or 3 blinds.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell them so they knew.
So what is the best? How do you feel the best way for Joseph to squeeze this glass out of here?
He's playing the as he can right now, but just so unfortunate for David in this spot.
Well, I like the raise, right? It doesn't polarize his hand too badly for just a call right there at 25,000.
Oh, you mean the turn?
Yeah. Yeah, on the turn, like where he didn't.
You definitely have to raise it to get the value.
Because I mean, he did get David a call, right? So it's not polarizing his hand, correct?
Right. I mean, he kind of did by himself, but also on the David side, he can do it the straight
What?
stuff.
Oh my god, again?
And he showed a queen nine first, and he showed another pot.
Like hot, like crazy.
Fucking go.
Brother, what the fuck is going on with you, man?
And we will lose David in 5th place.
GG, David.
Yeah, 67-60.
Oh my god. 3rd times today, huh?
Hey, you picked the right time to run high.
Joey is just
67.
knocking out everybody.
Sorry, 67.50, 67.60. It's somewhere.
760.
Yeah, 60. Yeah, it's $10 difference. I get. This is a cooler. Yes, Isaac, that was what you could call a cooler. Correct.
It probably creates a little more.
Kind of center loaded.
Yeah, I know, right?
I would say momentum. I don't know what's the right word for it. Like to Derek to put his deck in lighter now because
Yeah.
he already got all the short stacks bust out. Now he's the only short stack.
Yeah.
All 3 people like that. He's pretty deep.
Sure. Well, again, at this point, it's you need to start. Yeah.
Derek to find the spot.
It's a
Like,
dead
Yeah,
spot.
more
I have it
than
on here. I want to make sure.
It's a dead spot.
Not as much out there steel, guys. Just nothing wrong with folding. Not as much out there. Normal speech.
Hold on 1 second, guys. They're trying to figure this out.
Did you check that flop? And you check back?
Baby was a big blind, so Derek's gonna be big
And he
blind.
blocked his top.
Yeah.
He blocked. He had an ace two. He had an ace two. So he blocked ace four. Yeah.
Joe is commanding lead with
That's just a 6 spot for him.
he has, I believe,
What do I do?
60% of the plus 60% of stack.
Plus 60%.
Close to 70% after that knockout probably. Which is a lot of stack.
Alright, tip me full.
Let's go!
Oh, I love it. Derek gets a walk.
You even see it. Flip them all over. I don't look. It's not my thing.
He will be happy.
Specifically, when I get a walk, I don't ever.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
I mean, he's not really winning anything because he put his own ante and then put his blind, but also
God, don't you hate it? It's like, guys, could you just give it to me one time? Like, it's a debt. You just busted that. Yeah.
your money anyway.
I
Once
may
you
have
put
to,
it
you're
out
right, 'cause
there,
I may have to alter it.
so he'll definitely be happy.
I do that. That's my no limit rule. typically.
Hold him, I get it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You gotta understand, this might have been the first walk I've ever gotten in a PLO tournament. I've never even played a PLO tournament.
I don't think I've ever seen a walk in the
Right. David is
But
having
also
a
make it
really
beforehand,
good
so
year.
that's-
He had a 100K bounty from the Win Mystery Bounty, and
I can
It's a
vouch
little
for that.
easy. It's a little easier to get.
and he got second for 200K plus in Austin. He's a big crusher. He's one of the big local legends. He's crushing a lot of big tournaments. And a very, very good player, obviously. He's seeming playing it all the hands, but he's also good at like hold'em, any kind of like hold'em. Joe has another monster hand.
Derek does some mixed games too, right? He does mixed games as well, doesn't he? No? Mixed games?
He plays mostly PLO Cash, Hold'em tournament, PLO.
Interesting show by Joe there, but like at the same time, I mean, everyone kind of knows he's been playing pretty solidly. Like he's, ace, king, queen, jack, single suit. He's gonna show it down.
For the pulse, for the ICM, yes, Prime Social is allowing players to make agreement for the ICM chopping, but as I've noticed that no one in this final table has not bring it up a word.
No, I don't.
They all just wants to battle. A lot of tournament players love playing short-handed. I personally always say no to the chop a lot of times. It's just really
okay.
fun.
Like the chop the other day, the 600K or 500K guaranteed $600, right?
Right.
at first place was like what, 85,000, and then 65 for second. Or no, sorry.
Something similar.
Well, no, it was.
Probably 85 and 54.
So they took. I'm sorry. It was 85 and 52. Yeah,
Yeah.
54. So they took 61, and they played for the rest of the trip.
Right.
Like to me, that's what lock
Oh,
up
yeah.
an extra 10K.
There's nothing wrong
Sure,
with
right,
chopping.
right.
It's really the preference, but it really up to the player. I believe if
I don't believe anyone on this table. is going
I
to
don't
be-
believe anyone at this table would want to chop at this point.
Because also the difference between second and first isn't even 10K. You know what I mean? Like, you know, what are
I
you
mean,
gonna?
you can definitely
value?
argue with that. It's money, but
Sure,
it's
money's-
really up to the player. Like there's like nothing wrong with like chopping, nothing wrong with playing. But it seems like as I see this final table, everybody's just enjoying battling each other.
Yeah.
So I don't expect them to chop at one point, especially now one person is very sure. I feel like they're not going to bring it up.
Me neither.
Again, you start seeing that possibility of conversation between two, three, when everyone's kind of like low or equaled out,
And
right?
then equal out, yes.
Again, there's not really any value for anyone to talk about chop when Joe has literally 64% of chips in play.
Right.
Like it's
so
just like
the pulse thing I found it seemed interesting for seeing what the current status and expectations are, even without making a deal. 100%, you're 100% correct and right about it. I'm just saying that none of these players are interesting even looking at
oh,
it.
look at this double suited for Joe.
And there's nothing wrong with that. It's,
No, there's not. Absolutely, you're right.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I agree too. Like I don't mind like understanding my ICM too, because I think if you understand ICM, okay, if I could get to this spot, this is where I could possibly put myself. Right.
And also
Or-
because of the usual, like I don't know here, but usually out there in like Vegas, other places, when you're trying to see the ICM, they a lot of times they give you one time to look
You
at
do
the
it
ICM
one
number
time.
because like, you
here
can't
do it
just
one time and then
stop
that's it.
the
Stop
tournament
clock.
every time.
Yeah, correct.
So that's another thing the players may think about it. Like I'm not gonna bring it up until I'm in favor type. Like
Correct.
now Joe is definitely in favor, but also when you're in like big favor, now you're like, okay, I can win this.
Yeah.
So we don't know what
Okay,
their
the
thoughts
difference
are.
where Joe is right now in chip leader, he
Right.
literally has all three players covered completely.
Right.
And you're talking about any type of ICM where 28 for first, 9,000 for fourth right now. And to him, what's the point? Like it's just like, yeah, I'm not even like if anyone even mentions it, he's like, I'm not gonna even talk about it. I wouldn't either in his position, right? Even, you know,
I mean, like I said, to be honest, for me, it's nothing wrong with like looking at the number or making a deal. I'm not against any of it. It really the personal preference, in my opinion, and I just like
sometimes
I said,
people just want to take it down, right? Sometimes
right?
people
Like I
wanna do
said,
the
just
heads up.
people right now, they don't want to take the spot. Oh, they just shove it in with the top pair and got snapped off by bottom set. He does have a gut shot to the nut, the 10 ball. We'll see how it faces
Got
Ken's
no
group here.
flush draw at all here. He's gonna have to get some.
It's drawing very, very
Yeah,
thin
very,
here.
very. Turn card.
That's not the card.
not gonna help
He
him.
only needs a 10 here. And no,
Derek will be eliminated.
Derek is
for-
eliminated in fourth.
Hey, good luck in Maine. Thanks.
He also fought for the like as a small stack for a long time.
Sure.
Did really great. I believe he got third or fourth in last Plo Championship also. So it's kind of unfortunate for him to not making. He was probably expecting to win.
I agree. GG. Derek's gonna take
GG, Derek.
9,400. Yeah, I'm sorry, 9,250. So
A nice little payout.
yeah, and now we're five digits price. You know, we're at the 5 digits now, right? So next player is guaranteed 13,000.
Now we're three-handed. We don't have any short stack. Blind is high enough, but I believe
Well, that's
even DK has more than 30 big. So now we're gonna see. But
Now
it's
we're seeing some
three-handed.
poker,
So
yeah.
It's shorthand is always very fun.
Isaac says, great job, Tim.
Looks like you've got like 2.5. That one's
A little bit.
2.7. After this level, take a break?
I'll be just level, yeah.
Okay. 10 minutes? Did I fix that out?
Yeah.
10-minute break?
That's why.
I was like,
So
Yes.
DK does have a little. DK has a little less than 30 bigs.
70.
And Joe just has all the chips.
Yep.
And I believe
Tim's gotten
Team
up a
just
little
knocked
bit to
out
a million.
two. So yes,
Yeah,
he
he's
has a
gotten
lot
up
of
to
chips.
$1 million. So
I think he has more than $1 million, but not sure. Which is still very deep. They're playing 20K level right now. Team is sitting deeper than 50 bigs.
well, like we said before,
Joe
now
is
it's
100
deep, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, now it's deep.
But even DK is sitting as the shortest stack right now, but he still has a
whenever it gets
plenty
to the
of
final
stack
stop,
to work.
I'm happy to talk about some sort of
Can still make a couple bad, you know, he could take a bad hit and not, you know, not go completely all out.
What's the blind?
10, 20.
So also like short-handed game is completely different than the full ring game.
Oh yeah. Ranges are going to be opened up
It's a
entirely,
lot,
right?
Yes, it's a lot more skills involved. Also, like good heater just can be massive. in this.
Yeah, oh yeah. A good heater can just go
Right.
roll up, like literally roll up.
Right. Short-handed, I personally always believe that short-handed is more skillful game over
Sure.
the full ring.
Well, you're putting in more of that math calculation.
Right.
Right.
So you're missing more flop. You're like it's just more things. But it was pretty fast, and like one level, I think we have like 4 knockouts.
Yeah, I think within that
Within
that
one or two
level,
levels,
40
yeah.
minutes. I'd say
Right.
within a level and like a little bit more than a level and a half.
Right.
We had the other knockouts, correct?
Now it's like all three players are deep enough. It might take a little bit while to see another knockout. So team is opening. DK is ace queen 6-4. It's a really good hand to 3-bet here in this spot and 3-handed. Just because
Exactly what he's gonna do.
yeah, just because team can open any hands. But also
Range
DK
is so open, right?
yeah, also DK can play in position also. And team
Tim
just
is
drilled
gonna
a
flop.
third nut flush.
You know how it goes. Sometimes you just
Right.
flop it.
But still the DK completely missed the flop, so he can't really continue. He knows 3 will not give him a big favor. I don't think it goes check a lot of time. Oh, he actually drilled it straight there. Which is the perfect card for team. Now DK can put his money in there.
Oh yeah.
He decided to raise with the straight. So team is never folding here. You already know. Should be calling here a lot with his queen high flush. There's no reason to back raise there. And I believe DK probably min raise it here just to check back a lot of river.
Sure.
So we're gonna see check a lot and
Kind of more like more pot control. That
yeah, it's more blocker
right,
type.
Right,
yeah,
blocker
'cause
that control, like pot control for it.
his straight is good enough, but also he doesn't want to call off the big bet on the river. So and team just take down the nice pot, and DK is just got shorter. We're playing 3-handed PLO final table. gonna open 60K on a button. DK folds. And Joe doesn't want to play power team. Team is chipping off pretty fast.
Yeah, isn't he? Yeah, he just got another.
I think he had like 3 knockouts.
Yeah, I just recommended when I'm reaching over to the.
Well, again, it's just like, you know, the 2.0, 2.1 range is great with the chips leaders, or with the short stacks, right? But now, if Joe wasn't taking all those people out, those chips have gone to someone else, and that's been Tim, right? So, Tim literally only 800,000 below Joe at this point. So, just securing himself really to be competitive when,
Imagine what would have happened if he didn't.
you know, to put himself in a position not to be wiggled down. Like, he has some, he's got some back he could throw into it, right? He can be a little bit aggressive back.
This is what we're seeing here because of 3-handed. We're not gonna see many of premium hand. So this is the kind of time that aggression is really, really important.
Look at Tim's. Exactly.
Yeah. Nice. And Joe overcall, and Tim is gonna just see the flop, so we're gonna see the three-way post flop. And Tim drill the chip jacks here.
It's so not fair. Yeah, sometimes I've seen that happen a lot too. Right. When like people have hands like that, they got like 3 aces and the other 2 cards, and their flush draw action
Right.
sit there, right? You're like, oh come on, bro, you should be in there.
Anything can happen in poker.
Yeah, anything could happen. That is true. So as we can see, we've only gone down about 300K in chips throughout the whole time here. So,
Answer my phone. Tell
No,
her
he just lost a big pot to.
well, that's the cumulative chips throughout the tournament, like throughout the final table. So, like in total, he's only lost 300K in chips in total
Nice.
of the start of the final table. So, between going out of, you know, fading 6 other players, that's not bad. You know, I mean.
It's actually my sister.
Oh, now we have a really good hand on the Joe. It's a check high run down with the
I was
still out of my family. Go borrow mine.
She got my knees
I
on.
was expecting him to raise here a lot.
Raise a 50.
Teammates with 10, 8, 6, 3s, single suits. Not gonna play that hand.
I'll say DK called this.
And we have a mystery hand on the DK, of course.
Surprise.
And
2 pair
Joseph have
for
a
Joe.
bottom 2 pair.
Check.
He's definitely gonna see bet here. We'll see if your DK extra has a hand. He's gonna put it in here a lot of times.
Nope.
Alright, set the fold. And Joe just took down the pot.
At this point, too, I'm gonna be honest. Do we keep on showing hands to players at this point? Like before, there's more representation showing he was bullying, whatever. But people have seen Joe play now. I mean, keep on showing hands at this point. Not sure in my personal opinion. I don't think at this point you're 3 ways. You don't want any player to know any of your ranges for now on. Do you not agree with that? Like in a sense, or
I'm like
indifferent with it?
I think it's really the big factor, to be honest, because, well, like you said, like you can show them a hand and you can dilute the players, like by playing different ways. Also, everybody can watch the hand 30 minutes later.
Sure.
So a lot of players have the tendency in the final streaming table that don't mind showing the hand because they all get to see it like 30 minutes later.
Gotcha.
That's one of the big factor in the live streaming game that happens
Oh, I
a
love
lot.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love live streaming.
In my experience, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I used to live stream here all the time. Like I played every Wednesday and Saturday at the 136 games, where we're those crazy guys, 136, 12, 48, 96 all the way across. Gotta love it, man. Hmm.
5 minutes to put some pressure.
95 more.
size is his right to check it
Yeah,
out?
yeah, go see Josh.
What's in the middle?
145.
110. No, 140. 140. I'm sorry. Math is hard. 7.
All right, we're in the hand. Joe has a wrap with the backdoor nut flush draw, which is very strong.
Check.
Now he pick up more outs to the 8, and we still don't know what team is holding. It goes check, check. I see the pot is 280, so I believe has some firework on the flop or for the flop. And Joe made a 150K bet here on the river, and team is on decision what he wants to do here. Looks like he has an ace, trying to bluff catch it. So not many hands that Joe can have here. He did call out of position with the on the flop.
I call. You have a 9.
And team decided to call. He made a correct call here. And he decided to muck. So team won a good chunk of pot from Joe. Oh, team had a top 2 pair.
Okay.
He flopped huge.
So that's the first pot Joe's kind of lost in a while, huh?
Right.
You got it. I was like, if you got the 9, you got the 9. Nothing.
Yeah, it's so hard for
That's my old.
Yeah.
Unless I bet one.
Joe is in hand that spot. Joe never gonna have a 9.
Okay.
You're chopping with all the other ace queen. Didn't see what happened on a pre-flop, but pretty sure it was not the big raise, so maybe team was only concerned about Joe having a pocket queens there, but also team blocked his pocket queens on himself, so it's very good call by team. Joe had another good hand, ace king 10-8, ace 10 suited
Yeah, so
on a small blind, and looks like DK.
Is it? Yeah, did DK?
Oh, he raised.
He raised, okay.
70K. And this
Now for Joe, isn't this just
mandatory
a...
3-bet spot from Joe.
Right? Yeah, this is just a...
Joe decided to fold. And DK take down the pot.
That's interesting.
Interesting.
Don't you believe that's a little bit of a tight lay down for Joe?
He's probably just thinking about he has all the chips. He doesn't want to be the person who's giving away the chips and stuff.
Gotcha.
So
Well, at that point, if he loses 300,000 to flip to DK right there, right? He's now down to 2.12. Yeah, he's
Right.
down to 2, and him and Joe are like
also
Tim are right there.
graphing might be wrong, so I can't really judge it for that.
Sure.
He's there, I'm here.
Right.
It's hard to judge it, but like if he actually had a hand that what he had, it could have been a really good play by 3-betting there to give DK in a spot. Even DK might have aces or kings.
I mean,
Joe's
I
hand
believe that
is
even though
not that bad against those
Right.
hands.
Yeah. 60.
I feel like DK is showing some aggression on this 3-hand.
I like it.
I really love
Now, interesting, if DK would actually get his stack up to about 700,000,
it. Right.
that would change a lot between the chip stacks and who he got it from, right? But that must definitely change a little bit of understanding between the three players a little bit. If he can bring, like right now, he's just really short, right? I mean, in comparison to two other players.
See DK hit top 2 pair.
Instant
it's really
fold.
good flop to bet, obviously.
Sure.
It's hard for a team to have a flush. Three-handed is just, that's what I love about short-handed.
Yeah.
Just.
Well, he's gonna know, right? I mean, no one's gonna fold even if you have a 5-high flush there. You're just gonna have to call it down right at that point, right? Like you just have to.
And also,
or a 6-high fold.
Probably Joe is thinking that DK has been playing very tight when it was like 7-6-handed, and that's very smart play by DK.
Now he's open up, changing up the gears,
really
right?
Showing the aggression.
Yep.
Playing back at everyone. But this is also how it's supposed to be in a three-handed, like short-handed, because like you can't just wait to make the good hands. It's so hard to.
You kind of have to make them yourself, kind of, right? Or like this is where the 3-bet raises, pre-flop raises are key, right? Trying to put yourself in a great position so if you do hit it, you can maximize profit once you hit it, right? Correct.
Top pair. Joe has a 2 backdoor flush draw.
Tim's got a little gut
shot
yeah.
with the better hand, with the leading this flop. And Joe decided to lead. I really like this play. Joe actually had an open ender also, the bottom end open ender.
Yep.
So he has a lot of equity in his hand. He doesn't really mind putting his money in. And also he's giving a lot of pressure to the team at this point that you lose here, you're gonna be short.
Yeah, yeah,
so
correct.
Also, Tim's mind, he doesn't want to lose stack to the Joe.
Sure, with 300 to his left, right?
Tim definitely wants to go heads up with Joe with decent size of stack.
Right, because if this were to get potted right now, you're talking about $500,000, over 600,000 in the pot now, right? And that's just Okay, so he's still okay.
Good play by Joe, and his hand has so much equity against any hands that team holding.
Well, he's got some good draws to it, right? He's
2 backdoor draw and all stuff. Alright, we're seeing multi-way flop here.
club draw here for Joe.
Looks like.
Yeah, we're going right. Yeah, everyone's got a little piece of it,
Joe
right?
has a top pair with the flush draw. Team got away. DK has straight draw. Pair 8. No? Yeah.
Just aggressive. Gonna take this one down too again. So surprisingly, as it showed right there in the front of you guys' screen there, throughout the whole final table, Timothy's actually had the most aggressiveness on this table.
Yeah, he's been sharp. Also, probably like last level, he knocked out all 3-4 players. He's been pretty active. And then selectively playing this very well in post flop. pull the 6654 on the button.
DK, can you scan your cards for me? DK. Alright, thank you.
Attention public players, we do have immediate seating for 125 Pot Live in Omaha. Anybody looking to play in Omaha, we do have immediate seating on table
We have
7.
a DK had a small, one open ender, and team is
It's
leading
funny,
with pair
like-
eights.
So when we're trying to just see, okay, what does a player got? Oh, he actually does really have a pair of ace here, you know. So you know what I mean, like where the draws at? No, there, that's there.
And DK
Just gotta get the
just
check mark with the eights here.
trying to see the chip
Right.
river. Very interesting to see if DK decide to bluff here. He doesn't have any blocker. The board is very dry. It's one of the actually good board to bluff. Team is just gonna have
See it or no?
hard time to call off unless he
No?
had a king.
Right, like
Like,
yeah,
see you
it's just
later.
tough. Any five there, just waiting, right? So just like you got to put your like, yeah, oh yeah, eights are good here, but are they really like mathematically? Are they actually okay here, right? And you're gonna have to say 25%. No, not even close, right? You're just
DK's
you're not.
been showing some heart on the
I
final
had
table.
nothing. I hit a flat. I had a 6, 5, 3 something. I had an 8.
Playing like stag and three-handed very, very well.
On a draw.
If I had a
So
little,
DK
if I had a little
is
more, if I had like if I had a king or
honestly, he's closer to about 380 here.
No, he had a more than 400. He had a stack of a gray and more than 300 in red chips. So
Right.
he had a probably like 425.
425.
Team open here with ace jack 10-6 correctly. And we have a mystery hand on a DK.
Go figure. It's okay, DK. We're gonna give you a hard time when you watch this back later tonight. We have. Oh, there we go. Good job, buddy. Good job.
He hasn't decided yet.
Now,
655.
is this where you kind of start to gamble a little bit?
I mean, to be honest, that's not really the right hand to gamble. But he's decided to see the flop, and he knows he'll be good if he hits the like low flop. And he probably knew 9 was coming.
You know what? He must have, right? I'm gonna check it here.
The only problem here with the like close hand is like you want a specific flop, and once you hit it, you may not make enough money off of it. This case scenario, like Timothy has ace on his hand, and DK is gonna raise, and you're probably gonna end up making King fold.
Not on break. That's 300.
DK is so strong here.
Yeah, we're on break for this level.
Team's still gonna lose to DK is ace king, ace queen, and there's not many draw out there. Team knows he's big. DK just has to have a man in this spot.
Nice. Beat your button when you get back from break.
enjoy your break, gentlemen. Good luck tonight.
All right, so there. So we're gonna be on a break.
Yeah, guys, we're going on
We're
the 15
coming back
break.
in like 15 minutes.
Yeah,
Is
about
it 15 minutes?
About 7
All
to
right.
15 minutes. We're going to go ahead and put the thing back up. Please do not leave. It's not even going to be 15 minutes, I don't think. More like 10. We'll
All
say
right.
10.
I see you guys in 15 minutes.
Yes, sir.
You may want to move your car, which means that if you are parked on the side street right next to West Summer, you may want to move your car.
Yeah.
what's he doing that? Like, is that?
On the chips? Yeah. I'm thinking mine's gonna be about 26.
I think it'll be probably a little less. I'm not
All right, guys, we are back like we stated before.
I'm just gonna say, if we do decide to do an ICM, whoever finishes with the most money and chips will be awarded first place.
Obviously.
So they'll get the points and the trophy in first place, and the points will go in order from chip counts and who gets the most money. So with the chip counts currently, Tim, it would be 20,797, DK 16,632, and Joe 23,980.
It's up to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't mind paying, like whatever you want. So do you have the chips on there? Yeah.
Guys, this is Reese in the booth. I am here waiting to see what there's a deal that might be done here or something. Not exactly sure, so give us a moment.
And obviously this is just ICM numbers.
What's second place?
Second place is 19,320.
What is it on there? 20.1.
For you, 2797.
Not much difference for him for second place.
It's about
5K big difference.
And this is just ICM numbers, so if y'all did want to come to a different deal, that's acceptable as well.
And I'm sorry. How much is third?
Third place,
130.
this year.
Guys, I am still here. We are still here. Trying to see what's going on.
You guys mind if I make a call? Just because I have.
There's no pressure, buddy.
Yeah, no pressure.
No,
Hey,
I don't mind.
You wanna play? We can play.
Yeah,
I don't care.
What do you guys want to do?
I'm honestly fine with whatever.
You wanna play?
I'm fine with playing or talking.
Or shopping? Okay.
Or we could even.
All right, so we're trying to make a deal. First place is 28.9. They want to give me 23.980. I got 2.3 inch. I got 2.3 in chips. Second place has 1.3 in chips. 19,000. Rakam Shante. Rakam Shante. So, second place will get 20,797. And third place, 16.6. God knows, supported you. I think that I should get like 26, to be honest with you. Yeah. Yes.
Guys, we are still here, waiting to see what's going on. This is also why we knew there was a break going on. So during the break, they decided to communicate about some chop options, I think. We'll see what's happening.
5K. Okay. Can we do 25,000?
What does it say you're doing right now?
23,980. It's a 5K difference between first
He wants
and a chop.
$1,020 more.
I want 1,020 more, and I'll do it. I'll do 25K.
Talk more with if more comes off of his because I'm barely getting more than second place money.
Right. I just think that third is getting a huge difference. 3,000 up top more.
I see what you're saying. I'm just saying like I'm only getting an extra 1,000 over
Right.
second
I'm
place
with
money.
you for sure. Yeah, I'm with you for sure. Yeah, by like a million.
So it seems like Joe's trying to ask for 25 since it pays 28 because third place is getting right now 16,000. I think the deal is that he was making 19,000.
What are you supposed to get right now?
16,000. 16,000 something. 16,700.
DK is 16,632.
Yeah, I'll do to 16,000.
That would take 632 off this.
Yeah, I can do only that.
We add it to yours, that would give you. It'll be 632.
I think like
That would put you at 20, 24,612. If you leave his the way it is with the 20, you
I
take
just
that.
don't feel like he's numbered right for that third right there. Like getting
I see-
3,500 more?
ICM heavily favors small stacks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because if they get double up, it's like the way I don't know if it's how right it is. I don't know the math behind it, but I know the ICM.
As you guys could tell, these cards are a little bit hard.
Always, it's always that.
They're cardboard, guys.
Are you happy with 20,500?
What is that right now?
20,790.
797. So you would take 297 off the 297 off the
There is a
So it'd be
4.
20,500.
Oh, okay.
20,500.
I don't really care. I do like playing. I like playing for the first place,
so
for the shit,
For
for the
I'm gonna
points.
ask,
but-
before you want to
I think you have to play.
So would we still would I still get taxed on the 29,000?
you get the points and the
Whatever money you get, and then I believe
play,
it
man.
comes
Just
like
fucking
minus
play.
your buy-in.
No,
hey,
it's
buddy,
whatever I get.
just play.
Whatever I get.
I don't want to do it. No.
You don't want to chop?
No,
Okay, all right, never
Let's
mind.
go. Let's go. All right.
Never mind. I'll chop.
Yeah, you're right. You need points. So you're gonna get second place 25 points.
Huh?
He's looking for points too.
Well, I was just saying if I wanted to like we take that and then play it out for the points. but-
Yeah, that's
Yeah, we could do if you guys want to do that and play for the points, we can do that too.
I don't-
You're gonna have to play something out. I'm pretty sure for the trophy and like just to have.
I
the
don't care
trophy.
about the trophy, man.
I do. I care.
I don't care about.
So
the
you guys want to do that?
I know, but what of the?
You
what
get
about the-
16,000.
No points. I'm concerned about the points. I want to play about the points too. You know.
So I think that the way that it works
Yeah.
is since you get the least points. That's
Yeah,
what they're saying.
you'll get third place points.
How many points are those?
I don't know what it is on this on this one. I can find out if you want.
It's
Not getting too much. It's only 3,000, man. It's not like something like crazy money. You know, I can double up right now and maybe I just play. Let's go. I don't want to do it. That's fine. Let's go. It's okay.
how much was
I
that?
lose 3K. I lose 3K. That's it. 15, not a big deal.
3K is good for you.
I was not supposed to be here on the final table first of all. This is my first time playing in tournament. I'm good with the third place. If it happen, I might go to first. I don't know. Might triple up. I don't know. Yeah, I might lose 3,000 or maybe go to 49,000. Maybe.
Alright, guys, we are back. DK's got Queen, 10-4 here.
What are the points you can afford?
Tournament is like
For
player
just
of the
playing
series.
social?
Yeah, like first place for the player of the series is like an extra 7,500.
They're doing
you get-
25. Yeah, 25K. What does it pay out for a player?
Is it 25, 20?
I think they have like 5 or 6 spots.
DK's got 500,000.
It's after the series is over. whoever got the-
Joseph's got Ace Jack, double suited here. Ace Jack, 5-4. Clubs and hearts. I believe this is going to be a complete opening range for Joseph here. I wouldn't be surprised if a pot comes into play here. It's going to be extremely strong. DK's going to take it, huh?
Chop it up, man. You ready? You guys ready? You want
Like
to
I
do
said,
it?
I'll do it. But
I'll do it too. You can have my points. I don't care about the points.
No, you cannot do that.
You cannot buy the money. Whoever has the money gets the most points.
regardless, I'll still do it.
I'll still do it
It's up to
too.
you.
You want to do it?
We'll probably sit here for another 3 hours.
3 hours for sure.
So what I'm getting 16,000? How much? What?
16,000.
16 even. If you want to do the version, you give it.
You get 16.
How much was I getting before?
13.
Okay.
16.
16, 6, 3, 2.
So why do you want to? I cut it down because you were complaining.
No, I wasn't complaining.
No.
He's just because he was only getting
So
20.
just leave it like that. 66. I'm okay with that. If you want to do 66, I'm okay. I don't want to play anymore. If we do 66, same amount, whatever they said.
I don't. I'm taking some off too. I'm taking 300
I'm
off,
taking
400 off mine.
5,000 off, and I'm the chip leader.
Well, whatever they
That's
said the
huge.
numbers, I'm taking 400 off mine.
That's
also.
big difference.
So it's basically we're chopping to give the chip leader slightly more.
Yeah.
Let's make it 16.5 even. That's it. 16.5.
You want to give me $100?
132.
I'm not gonna. It just doesn't make sense for me. No. It's not because it's not right. I'm taking 5,000 off. That's a lot. Yeah. Why would you even say $100? You think I care about $100? Come on.
16. And how much you getting? 20?
I'm taking less for first. You guys are all getting more.
So it still looks like they're talking about some type of deal here, guys.
Let's do it. 16 is good.
Joe's got 6,443.
Alright, just Alright, so we're doing 16 even. Give me your chips.
Okay, guys, so this is the deal. They made a deal, 24,610 for first.
16.
I took a $500 off.
You took 632 off. It's 16 flat.
500
flat.
or
16 flat.
$20,797 for second and $16,000 even for third. That is, Joe is going to be the winner. Congratulations, sir. PLO, $1,100 buy-in, 100K guarantee, PLO Championship. It's going to go to Mr. Joseph. Congratulations, sir, from Detroit.
Third place, 13,130. So you're getting 3,000.
Yeah, look forward to seeing him in the main event. All right, guys, that is us. We're going to let you know what's going on. Thank you guys very much for your support. This is Reese in the booth. Greatly appreciate you guys. You're awesome.
32 on yours, right?
Okay, there will be no high roller tonight. We will start tomorrow the live stream with the high roller. Guys, greatly appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Start tomorrow. Flight 1A for the main event. $1,700 starts at noon. And late reg all the way to 6. And don't forget, we're going to be doing lots of flips. $200 flippies. Flippy. Flipmaster Reese, like it. All right, guys, have a great night. Appreciate your guys' support. We will see you mañana. Reese here, Prime Social. Have a great night.